Okay, so last time on Curse of the Crimson Throne. Um, so last time, you guys just escaped the city in which the majority of the game has taken place, the grand city of Corvosa, the home of all of our player characters, from which they've seen very little outside of, we'll say. Except for maybe Theobard, who has just joined our group, and it's just a relatively newcomer to Corvosa. Is that right?
Yeah, relatively. Maybe like a year or so.
Okay. And in that last session, the plot behind why Queen Iliosa has gone sour was revealed to our party. She's under the malignant influence of some eons old warlord, too powerful to die. And so now our party goes into the Cinderlands, the historic homeland of the Shoanti people, a hostile, outback-like environment full of large, dangerous monsters and natives who take not too kindly to outsiders. This was something that the party took a bit of advantage of once they hit the road from. You guys went to Kermaga last time, right?
Yep.
Yes, that was our first destination before going into the Cinderlands proper, and heading out from there. You head straight to the location of a permanent settlement for the Skull Clan of the Shoanti people, the ones who show particular respect to the deity Pharasma, and it appears you've uncovered an ancient burial ground of theirs, the Callow Mounds. Each of these stacks of boulders represents one Shoanti warrior buried beneath these burial mounds. So last time, you guys saw those men with the skulls painted on their face peek over the horizon, and Theobard, you recognized one of them shout the question, why have outsiders invaded this holy place? They've each got longbows pointed at you, just tipped over the edge of those mounds surrounding you. Oh, I guess I should ask a question, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna jump right into the game, but okay. For this question, I just want you to tell me about tell me about one family member that we've not yet ever discussed in this game.
Ouch.
Orphan.
Well, family doesn't have to be in blood code.
Yeah.
So in a way, Merrick has the largest family of all, and they've all been slaughtered by.
Tell us about a hippogriff that you haven't introduced us to yet. It's not sad at all. I just need to get a good name for this.
I was muted. Sorry. Sophia had a neighbor growing up that watched her from time to time when both of her parents were busy with work. That she named, or she affectionately called Auntie Wilma. It's the one that taught her the various flora and fauna of the city, as well as what minor traits she has in alchemy. If y'all heard that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It was just all of a sudden really quiet. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, this one's kind of open-ended, so it may take a minute for everyone to
Mhm.
get the juices flowing.
Firemine juice is quite stagnant, good sir.
Frankly, I don't like the way you're talking about my juices.
I would have to say one of the Sable Company Marines named, affectionately named Aunt Laura. She was one of the very few that actually like treated him like a kid when he was brought in to the barracks effectively in the wake of the loss of his parents. Helped him feel grounded in the wake of the loss. She was also one of the closest friends to his deceased parents.
All right. Well, if no one else, I got one. That would be Theobald's father, Dante Croft, an absolute bastard of a man, if you would ask Theobald, that wanted to deeply toughen his son up. He made Theobald kill the slave when he was 10.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. Every bad stereotype about Chelish people was probably Theobald's dad.
Happy birthday, son.
Yep.
And when he killed that slave boy with a knife instead of his hands, I knew he would always be a disappointment.
Yep. Yeah, it's very much like that sort of dynamic.
One for the arcane arts.
Mm.
Vic was similar to Merrick's. His was EJ. Was a guy who worked at the bar that his dad was a bouncer at. You know, having grown up without his mother, lost his mother before he knew her. Mostly was raised at that bar, and while it was pretty much a rough and tumble bar, the barkeeps, the bouncers, everybody were tough. EJ had a softer heart and would actually allow Vic to talk about feelings and question about what's going on in his life and help him work through things. EJ was a singer and a performer there. He played the piano most nights.
I like how everyone's going with like a really nice one. And I'm like, biological father, fucking asshole.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
Merrick's Auntie Laura died a couple weeks back. So, or no, she probably was taken in by the Grey Maidens and never seen again.
Yeah, no, a fate much worse than death.
Oh,
Drug Theobald, I'll trade you.
Yes, Kier had a great uncle called Melor, who had a nice wide collection of books that Kier would spend a long time reading as a child. They mostly bonded over that, though he's still back in Cheliax as far as Kier knows.
I don't think I knew that Kier was from Chiliax.
Said it mostly a character creation. couple times since, but hasn't come up.
No one took the dive and said secret child.
That would be very interesting to just put in the middle of the campaign.
Yeah.
Never
Lucas
mentioned this
died, so he
before.
can't say anything. But never mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be my son. Never met him, only know him by voice.
Oh gosh, that would be dark, Richard. That's like that's like finding out that fucking what's his name, Joseph Joestar was a dog in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You're like, God,
Yeah.
you're so cool. And also, what a bastard.
Right? Isn't it worth like doesn't if I can't I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly. Doesn't he also call his wife while he's visiting his former mistress at the beginning of that season?
Dunno.
I don't know.
Been a minute.
Say that again.
I thought there was a part in JoJo's where like when he comes down to see his like bastard child, doesn't he call his wife while he's doing that?
Yeah. He's
I always
he's
thought that
kind
was
of
so weird.
he's kind of demented at that point, so he doesn't really know what he's doing, I think. See, it's more and more geriatric as each part goes by. Until by
I kind of love that though, because it's just
part 4, he's like, "Hi, son, I'm your daddy. Let's go to the ice cream parlor."
Want to fight a vampire?
Yeah. No, Grandpa, this series stopped being about vampires 2 fucking parts ago.
I still love the Team 4-star when they did the brief first season of JoJo abridged thing, where he's fighting Dio as the vampire, and Dio like shoots rockets out of his fingers or something. He's like, "Wait, I thought you're supposed to be a vampire." "I am," and then he shoots lasers out of his eyes and freezes something. This is all just classic vampire stuff. Everyone remembers vampires have ice vision. Everyone knows that. It's straight out of Bram Stoker's.
I think
I mean, it's all over the place as vampire lore is. I
Mm-hmm.
like that they challenged it and we're just like, what, you forgot? Yeah, Ice Vision bitches.
the Angry Video Game Nerd had a funny series called You Know What's Bullshit, and he did a video on vampires where he just lists every rule from all of pop culture vampires have to follow.
Mhm.
He's like, vampires are fucking bitches.
Way too many rules.
Can't get across a stream to get away. Just dump these beans on the ground and they have to count them. Which is apparently from some old folklore.
Yeah,
What?
that's
I've never heard that one.
Chinese hopping vampire. If you dump a bowl of rice, they'll have to flop to the ground and begin counting them. It's a thing. So I will remind
and that's
people,
why that vampire didn't survive.
No,
I
that's why
will
that
remind
vampire
people,
ended up on public television going, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the Count has that shtick.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, somehow OCD got put into vampires at some point.
I will remind the general viewing audience that if someone drives a wooden stake through your heart, you will also die. So
just so we're clear.
yeah,
This is not as much of a glaring weakness as it initially seemed.
yeah. Because I've heard, as a consumer of vampiric folklore a lot as well, I hear that they have all those weaknesses, and I hear you out. but I want you to really contextualize that we, the real life us, do not live in a reality where we're fantasy heroes with our own magical powers. It's significantly more intimidating.
I was always a fan of the World of Darkness explanation, anyways, where all the vampires made that shit up, so the humans
Mhm.
are caught on the back foot.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and occasionally one vampire will, for some reason, exhibit one weakness for no apparent reason. It's just like a random thing that happens sometimes. It may or may not just be a psychological tick. I can do an entire library or thing on World of Darkness Vampire Masquerade. You guys are interested? It's
All right,
it's a
we
wild
gotta move
ride.
along.
Yeah.
Yep.
So clearly there is one Shoanti who's the leader here, who's barking the orders, asking you where you have come from and what your business here is on these sacred grounds.
I remember Vic saying that he spoke Shawanti in the past. So I nudges back with my staff and say in common, "All right, then you're up. Go on."
I don't want to talk to these barbaric half breeds.
It's the
I
whole reason
famously
we're out
hate-
here.
well.
I famously hate people. You do it.
All right, he'll put up his hands in the sign of not aggressiveness, and
passive
he
aggression.
will. Yeah, it's unfortunately he does have up his middle fingers, but he knows in Shoanti that they do not believe in the bird, so he gives them the bird and says, "We come in peace. We are here to." Shit, out of character. Why are we
We're-
here to try to
we're
figure
here-
out?
We're looking for a lost, like, evil fortress.
Lost Evil
Refuge.
Fortress, but did it belong to them or was it their
No,
warlord?
no, it did not.
And was it a people that had conquered them?
I assume most people who are associated with Zon-Kuthon were probably not friendly to the natives, given their whole torture-based religion is generally not quite popular.
Yep. So he would attempt his best diplomatic rhetoric to basically have a peaceful come together for a handshake, and we are not here to harm you, and we respect your grounds, and we are apologetic if we have trespassed upon an area that we should not be. Because now I realize we're in sacred burial grounds. Can you try diplomacy
Yeah, give me a diplomacy.
to calm them down? I think they're going to probably shoot us with arrows, boys. $41.
The leader, a female Shoanti, would shout back out at you, all of their bows still pointing. So what is your business in the Callow Mounds?
She wants to know what our business is.
Looking for directions, last I checked.
And we're trying to seek them out. Was the most obvious place to look.
We're looking for information, for directions that we hope you and your people could help us with.
You see her look back. She consults some of the other Shoanti that are there before barking back out. This is acceptable, but you must put down all your weapons, and we will bring you to Chief One Life.
She says that she's going to take us to the chief, but obviously we've got to put our weapons down.
Good
He would
intent.
nod and he would ceremoniously put his weapon down.
Do they seem to have benevolent intent?
Sense
Okay,
motive.
sense motive.
1.
Well, that's a sense motive.
Well, the leader seems to be true in her intentions. You can sense some tension between the other members of this cadre of warriors here. And even one of them you hear faintly argue, we should just finish them here, or it's too risky, we should just finish them here and leave them to rot in the desert. And she quickly puts that idea down quietly, but you just managed to overhear that, Vic.
Yeah, the brash warriors are not excited, but she is truthful. Didn't one of our asshole party buy like some beads to give them?
I think we joked, but we never actually did that.
All right.
These people are not idiots. Come on.
Hold on, let me see if
Cope's like, I swear I bought beads.
We got beads, and
no, I was just thinking if we
We
had
got
anything.
beads, they're
to-
multiplying.
we're hoping we could get
hand
some
them.
of that corn.
I have a cheese. I'll pull out the cheese wheel, and I
Press
will.
cheese wheel,
This is
the
a
natural one that keeps on giving.
This is a sacred gift from our people. This is fantastic nourishment. and
I
would
like
to
how-
share it.
Good.
It is a prized gift of mine, and I would like to share it with your people in appreciation.
Can I like put my hand over his mouth as he's talking at this point?
I
You
believe
don't
he's
know what
speaking-
I'm saying.
I think he's speaking Shawanti.
Oh yes, I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell's
I
going
think
on.
only
Never mind.
Theobald
knows
knows
what I'm
what's going
saying.
on,
I'm
and he's
just
trying to play it
grinning.
really cool because he
It-
doesn't
it-
want Shawanti to know that he can understand as well.
And I like how coming from him, it's not a lie that cheese is a sacred.
It is a sacred and prized gift
From
of
him
my
specifically.
people. If she accepts, or if the warriors accept, because he would direct it to all of them and show that it can be broken apart into pieces and eaten.
Midway through the start of your explanation, she stops you and says, "We know of cheese."
Oh, then I will stop explaining and just give you the cheese wheel. And then he says in common, hey, these savages actually know how to make cheese.
I should have went to the Whirlwind Crusade. Oh God, it's physically painful for me.
So instead of their chief, one life, they'll be taking us to their head torture, one love.
One
Uh,
love.
The chief shaman laughed. So it's live, laugh, love. I
So
will
it's-
place my staff next to Vic's weapon upon the ground.
Yeah, so they wait for you to disarm yourselves. They will accept Vic's gift of the cheese, a little confused as to how he thinks they don't know what cheese is.
Mm-hmm. And I put down my
It
cross.
doesn't know much outside of the city.
But they will accept the free cheese. So they lead you back to the center of all of these great mounds. And there is a small village composed of yurts where it appears that no more than 2 or 3 families could be living in this location. You see maybe 2 children running around the place, chasing each other in the proximity of these yurts. But it seems relatively barren. But you do notice the cook fire that was likely the source of the smoke you guys saw on your way here.
If we're walking with the people, I would try to talk to the leader and ask her about this location and what its relevance is. And then as we approach the yurts, about who lives here and why there's so few. So a lot of questions I just threw at you there. I can back them up.
So she would explain this leader of the group, who you come hearing them talk to each other, you come to understand is named Ash Dancer. And she explains very simply that as they are a tribe which reveres Pharasma, that their sacred burial ground is the most holy of their sites and is the only permanent settlement known to the Skull Clan. The rest of their people are migratory, moving from place to place in the Cinderlands, but they keep both the chief and his direct family here at the Callow Mounds to oversee the burials and sacred duties needed to be done here.
Very good.
Was there anything else you were asking? Okay, cool.
Anything, he'd explain that to the group. I don't know if anybody knows Shawanti background or how they move or this stuff, but he would explain, he'd relay that information, see if they had any other questions. And if not, head on into the chief hut.
Okay.
They brought our weapons with them, didn't they? They didn't just leave them out.
Yeah,
on the field.
yeah. There's one person who's got them slung over his back in a sack or something.
Jokes on that asshole. I just gave him a stick.
Okay.
I will say I was muted, but when I said it before, but currently Luca is not out. Just FYI,
Yeah, we don't need any.
he doesn't really just
running around.
travel like next to her all the time, so it feels like I should mention it.
You like Pharasma? That's my friend. He's a ghost.
Yeah, like that's a good thing to read. That's why I mentioned it. I'm like, this could cause problems.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. As they lead you back into the town, one goes off. You see him peek into a yurt and then come back. But he says that the chief is gone on a hunt and he won't be back until later tonight. So Ash Dancer leads you to what appears to be just an empty yurt there for guests, perhaps. And she tells you all that you're free to stay here as long as you want, and that your weapons will be returned to you upon your leaving. But
say thank you and ask if it's all right if we stay outside by the fire and maybe get to watch her people and learn some of their culture.
yeah, they wouldn't necessarily have any kind of problem with that.
And then he'd talking comment, or we don't have a secret language, do we?
No.
All right.
I mean, we all know a bunch of different languages, but we didn't really discuss that beforehand, so I can't see why we would right now.
Right. He'd speak in common to all of us and ask if there's anything further we want to try and learn from these people before the chief gets back, or
I can't think of anything.
Main concern is finding the fortress.
Well, it appears that well, he'll try. He'll if the leader's not busy, he'll basically lay out, ask if she would mind talking to him. Can I get 5 minutes for $5 for Masked Dancer? Come on, nobody else picked up on Ass Dancer, even though she's Ash Dancer.
Took me a second. I got
Oh.
there.
Golly, all right, it's a hard crowd.
I was trying to figure out if there was a question or something I wanted to do. I'm sorry.
He said Ass Dancer 3 times. Come on. So he would ask Ash Dancer if it's allowed for him to ask her the questions that he would like to ask the chief, to see if maybe she has some knowledge that is just commonplace amongst her people.
Yeah, what questions do you have?
All right, so back me up, guys. We're looking for an ancient fortress.
Mhm.
From who was the entity?
Kazevan
Yeah,
was
Kazevan. Every time you say that, I think of Indiana Jones. Where
Kalima.
Yes, Kalima. So we're looking for the fortress of Kalima from ancient times, or of any rumors of its whereabouts.
She would say, unfortunately, the Skull Clan does not have an oral history kept that goes back that far. You see, many years ago, the Shoanti clans were much more integrated, more like one people than the 3 they exist as in this land here today. And in those times, it was the Sun Clan who was in charge of keeping their oral histories. So if you're looking for something that old, you're probably going to want to ask the Sun Clan.
Do you know where we could find the Sun Clan?
But then she gives you a laugh and says they don't want to talk to you.
Why would you assume that?
I mean, have you met us? I mean, not me. I'm personally great. But have you met the rest of you?
Out of character, we learned that the Sun Clan was the one that Stabby's non-Chawanti outsiders.
Yeah, they
Oh.
It's
hate
funny that they're the one
outsiders.
named the Sun Clan.
Mm-hmm.
There's in this territory, there's the Sun Clan, the aggressive Shoanti still have not forgotten the crimes committed by the outsiders, and for that reason have pretty much an attack on sight policy in the Cinderlands. They would explain that they're quite lucky that they found you instead of the Sun Clan.
Absolutely. Is there
and that you'll likely have to, if you're trying to court the Sun Clan in any way, you're likely going to have to prove yourself before they give you the benefit of the doubt.
So he's gonna run diplomacy again and go into non-vig mode, where he is going to actively try and talk to this woman to try and become her friend, or go into a step beyond just conversation that they are in now. And my ultimate ploy here is to see if she would agree to with some exchange to go and talk on our behalf to the Sun Clan. So I guess my
Seems
first
more
question
like a
is,
thing we'll have to get through to their chief when he gets back.
Yeah.
It's random.
uh,
Not saying don't try, but
yeah, he's going to go ahead and put in some good work with this lady. If I can do either a bluff because he is not intimately, friends with this person, or diplomacy, whichever or whatever you think might work to get her one
this would
step
be-
closer.
This would be a diplomacy. Yeah, I mean, she definitely doesn't think you guys mean them any harm at this point. But as she said before, relations between the tribes aren't as good as they have been in the past. The Sun Clan view the Moon Clan somewhat as traitors, for they are the clan which is most capitulated to the ways of the Chelish colonizers.
And out of character, this is the Skull Clan, not the Moon Clan or the Sun Clan. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And remember, way back, this isn't your guys' first time with the Sun or the Skull Clan, because way back you guys retrieved the body of one of their warriors
mhm.
from underneath the catacombs of Corvosa.
Was that the Skull Clan?
That was the Skull Clan.
So he would, now remembering that, he would bring that up to see if that was, being nomadic people, if that was of her relations or her knowing, and knowing that was us who actually helped.
Well, it would definitely put anyone you tell that to is ease, because you'll come to find out they do know of you, just not who exactly you were, but they had heard of your escapades, and they tell you that the shaman that gave you that quest all the way at the beginning of book 1, 1,000 Bones, actually is actually at the Callow Mounds right now. He returned shortly after retrieving the body of that Choanti warrior and laying him to rest here at the Callow Mounds.
Well, I would ask if we could go visit with him.
I mean, we're still waiting on seeing the chief, right? Or did I miss it? Are we still already talking to the chief?
Yeah, this is all just happening in the meantime. This is the shaman, not the chief. Remember the old shaman that could see into the future?
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, I just don't want to sit around a whole bunch of savages while they cook God knows what in the stew over the fire waiting for the chief to come back. So I'm gonna make
I feel
some
like
small
every
talk.
time he says this stuff in common, he just gets elbowed in the ribs by Sophia.
Yep.
God, how's he worse than me?
This is why every time Theobald monologues about how evil he is or how horrible like certain places are, like, but you're literally nicer than Vic, who is like the face of the group. You're
It's
just
because I don't
angry
have.
about it.
It's because I don't have principles. Vic believes in something. It's just what he believes in is dog shit.
You know what? The way you play Theobald, you know what it kind of reminds me of?
What?
There's this comedian who talks about how there's two types of nice people. There's the nice people who are like always going to like, oh, be like if you have a flat tire, they're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could help. I don't have time. And then there's that guy who pulls up, who's some New Yorker. They're like 60 years old. Like, oh, look at you with a fucking flat tire, you piece of shit. Let me change that for you.
Mhm.
That sounds about right. It's kind of like you always trust the grumpy repairman.
Yeah.
It's the guy that when he shows up, he's like, I'm just so fucking over this shit. I've been doing it for years. I just want to get this done so I can go home. I'm like, this man will do a good job.
It's the openly, you disgust me, but if not for me, you're all going to falter. So I have to take care of you right now.
But anyway, I just thought I'd share that because that's what it makes me think of the way you're playing him.
Yep.
But you would be led to the yurt with 1,000 bones inside, and he would be very happy to see you once again and inquire on the ultimate fate of that serial killer, Rolf Lamb, who had killed that Shoanti warrior so many weeks ago.
Out of character,
Also-
we killed him, didn't we?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Though I
You
will
killed him
also,
pretty dead.
I will also highlight that Theobald and Sophia have no context for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
Sophia
I
would
think-
just kind of lean into like I don't know Merrick and be like, "Wait, he killed a Shoanti?"
I'm sure they're speaking
See.
Shoanti. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, is he asking in common or Shanti?
He
Oh,
would
he's
speak to
speaking
you.
in Shoanti.
Well, Chief One Life would probably speak to you in common because he knows that's the language you guys understand.
Okay.
The others were probably only speaking to you in Shoanti.
Well, you said
Yeah,
we were speaking to
talking
1,000
to-
bones right now.
Yeah.
Yep. So if it's in common,
Mhm.
he would. Vic would say that he's proud to say that they had tracked him down, and I don't know out of character what's a common
Whacked
Asian way to say returned him to the grave.
We unalived him in the head.
Yeah,
He wasn't
turned out
he
the
wasn't
lights.
dead though, was he? He was just normal human necromancer.
Yeah.
/ serial killer.
Yeah.
He killed him good though.
You'd be glad to hear that that blasphemer is gone and dealt with once and for all. And then he would inquire, and you can tell me if you tell him anything different from what you told the other Shoanti, but ask you what brings you all the way out here to his homeland.
He would share the entire story of what they're pursuing, the information they are looking for.
And if now we're trying to get him on our side, I'd probably phrase it like we have reason to believe that the spirit of this warlord that we're looking for has possessed the Queen of Corvosa, and nothing good will come of it. We must stop that.
I see.
Absolutely.
We have Kazavan, Corvrex,
Kalimar.
Caravan.
Kazavan. He would say you have no more proving to do for the Skull Clan, that you are friends to them and that he can vouch for your integrity as a party. However, the other tribes are the ones you'll need to convince. The only way that you are going to be able to convince the Sun Clan to conversate with you will be to earn the respect of the other clans. And while you've done a great deal here for us in the Skull Clan, there are still those who have not seen your deeds firsthand.
Mhm. So active diplomacy.
Don't worry. When they see me, they're gonna love me. It'll be great.
At the very least, we'll have to do some favor swapping.
Yeah.
I'm too young for that.
Is there anyone? So when you say we need to have the support of the clans before the Sun Clan would even begin to talk to us, do you advise we go to the Moon Clan next?
The Moon Clan would be a wise next target, but there are still those who likely will not give you the time of day. There is something you could do to earn instant respect, but we'll talk about that more once the chief arrives. And as he says that, you hear some commotion going on outside as two Shoanti men are pushed into the yurt behind you, pushing on the backs of anyone standing in the doorway as they're being pushed by this one colossal Shoanti man. He's almost 7 foot tall, built like a brick shit house. And on his arm are one of those Shoanti weapons, the claw, a giant claw extending from his fist. And he asks in Shoanti angrily to the shaman, "Why do the Skone-Qua harbor Ishmek trespassers?" Their word for outsider. You see the shaman search around in his mind for an answer that could perhaps satisfy this large figure. And then he says, "Tell me, Krojan, when did the Sklar-Qua become judges of who trespasses upon the Callow Mounds where the ashes of our fathers lie?" Krojan retorts back, "Your words change the question. These ones bring trouble to the Cinderlands, and you know it. The coming days shall reveal to us all who's right about them," as he gives you each a disgusted glare. Thousand responds calmly, "Perhaps, but not today, and not here. Would you have word that Barak's burial was tainted by bloodshed? Get back to your son shaman." Krojan pauses. And then he says, "You misunderstand me, Thousand Bones. My grief has wounded my words. But see to it that no outsider defiles our memories here. Certainly, though, guests of the Skull Clan must be brave to come this far. You wouldn't be mind if I tested your courage and strength of your guests, would you?" He would sigh and look back at those of you who don't speak Shoanti, and he says, "Another guest from the Sun Clan. As I said, they're not the biggest fans of your kind. I'll leave the decision of whether or not you want to take his challenge up to you. And you guys can give me a knowledge local check to see if you can glean what the challenge is here."
31.
I don't feel like it'd take a successful one to know that a group that values action over words would
Yep.
at least look favorably on accepting, even if you fail.
Listen, is it trial by combat? Because I don't mind killing him. I just don't want people to be mad at me when I do.
Listen, I'd have my dad beat him up, but then there's going to be this whole thing about weird spirit stuff I don't want to get involved in.
Yeah. I have a
They're
feeling
they're
that
an
Vic needs
animist
to do
faith that
this.
does ancestor worship. You might get away with it.
He would be the normal choice if he were flesh and bone, but I believe that this is something I'll have to do.
Anyone who gets above a 20 knows that sees the item in his hand, a cord of leather, and you would recognize this as sort of a novelty Shoanti game that had been transplanted into Corvosa among some of the youth and some of the junkards. But it is in a folk game by the name of Sredna. And I will give you guys the rules to Sredna.
If it's deck space,
Shredna
maybe it might
hardly
be the
knew her.
best.
In Sredna, two contestants face one another On their hands and knees, with their foreheads spaced just over a foot apart, a leather loop is placed around the competitors' heads like a headband so that the contestants are bound to one another. When the game begins, each contestant stares at his opponent in the eye while slowly attempting to crawl backwards. The resulting tug of war results in an extreme pain as the leather digs into the soft part of the back of the neck and skull. At some point, one of the competitors relents, acknowledging defeat by bowing his head, causing the strap to roll over the top.
Oh yeah, Vic's in.
Go for it then, Dwarf Man.
Yeah,
It's not my forte.
I mean it would be perfect because it's intimidate and strength for what's his face.
Yeah.
I'd go ahead and ask if what's her name can give me Amadeus's luck.
I don't know, would that be cheating? Because I'm pretty sure they would know that magic's happening.
Hmm.
It doesn't say anything in here.
I mean, sure, I can slap it on you.
And
Amadeus's
I'm-
augmented attributes get a +4 to your strength.
Yep, I'm ready to represent my people.
Go get him, champ.
Let's go.
Actually, is your fortitude save really good?
Yeah, his fort's +16.
Okay, then I was gonna say because if you had a lower fort, I would say buff that, but you got this.
On intimidate's good and fort's good. Still trying to read through the win condition.
Have more
Do
points
competing
about
fortitude saves depending on the score that you have. First one
Mhm.
to fail passes out.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So we start with our breaths. 3 rounds of staring contest.
Is this the intimidating hooping and hollering?
Yep.
Or insulting, or
So round 1.
Oof. All right.
natural 19 on the die, so that helps.
Yep, killed me. Natural 4. All right, so he goes.
He gets 2 points for the first round.
Yeah, I lost my instructions when I clicked on my sheet.
Yeah, I'll show it again.
You're doing this for 3 rounds, I believe, before the actual tug strength check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me.
All right. Want to do another? So did he get a point?
He gets 2 points.
Yeah.
Oof. And then
All right,
when do we
round
choose
2.
tug or dig in?
That's
That's
when
just
it
at
gets
the
to the
end.
pool.
Okay.
This is just the intimidate phase.
This is 3 rounds of you guys just looking each other in the eye.
It's the weigh-in portion of the boxing match.
Finally.
Yeah.
All right, so we're both at +2.
Yep. The final round. And
All right.
Vic brings it ahead for the final round of Intimidates. All right, and then we roll an initiative check.
I will say this is happening. Vic has his head strapped to another man as they're daring contest / snarling at each other. And Theobald's
Those
just
are-
watching us smoking his pipe going, and he called them savages.
Those are terrible initiatives.
They were,
Alright.
but you did win.
Determine when he moves. On his turn, the character can opt to tug or dig in.
So since you got the right away, you get to tug before they can actually dig in and get a bonus.
Or I could dig in first.
Previous, yeah, and then you can have a bonus for your next one.
All right, hold on. Win conditions on conditions points. So what do you have to get to win?
Each
mean,
round
if-
is a fort save, and whoever fails that first.
All right, I'm go ahead and dig in for a +4 to the strength, or on his next strength check.
Okay.
I imagine angry guy is going to want to tug.
He is going to tug.
All right,
Shitty tug.
all right, +4 to this. +18. All right, so fort save, and I've got a +6.
Each round after the fourth,
He's
so I don't think the
trying
fourth
to
one
do
counts. This is the
six.
first strength check.
Okay,
So you don't make a save yet, but it'll be on the end of the next turn that you make the save.
all right, what do we do next turn?
Well, then you
On the
continue
fourth.
the tug. So now that you have
Yeah.
that bonus, you can tug and you'll get a +4 to it.
At
If
the
you want
end
to, or you can try
after
to
the
dig in
fourth.
again.
Okay, yeah, I'm digging in again. Do it. I guess it's cumulative.
Okay.
Or do we initiative?
You don't get to
again?
stack the +4 bonus. You'll lose it on your. You won't get the. You
Yeah,
can
it's
get the
just
tug
X.
now with a +4, but miss out on the bonus on the if he tugs.
Nah,
And that-
dig in's fine.
Okay. He's gonna tug. Oh my god.
Not his day.
Not his day at all.
15.
Man, he must be a lanky bastard if he eats what he kills, and these are his strength rolls.
Got a +6.
Yeah, he's rolling terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 3 and a 2 on his strength check.
Oh no, this is just Sophia shit talking in the crowd.
Ah,
All right. Well, fortitude. I don't think he's in any trouble yet, but
You,
all right. Next round, Vic.
equal to his opponent's current point total. Oh, I see. Okay, that just wasn't clicking. All right, so do we start over at breaths again?
no, you just continue on after the 3
No.
breaths. It just continues on with tug and dig ins until the end, I
All right,
believe.
dig in.
Yeah. Pretty quickly, this number will get so big that the check can't make it.
Yeah.
So, do you want to dig in or do you want
Dig in.
It does give him a 2 advantage. The other dude's strength, so. And he's got a ways to go because +14 fort. He's 3 more wins before he has a chance to fail.
to? So you're digging in, Vic?
Yes.
Okay. Then strength. Oh my god. Rolling straight garbage every single time.
In there.
And then
Do we have
fortitude.
to? Do we want to just? I don't think either one of us can fail it at this point.
Yeah, the number keeps going.
Yeah. But since I don't think you can, I think you can critically fail fortitude though.
Yeah.
Digging again.
All right. 14.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, I've got a +4, but still only a 9. So there we go. Do we want to wait for?
again,
Fort
you
saves
can
until
critically
we
fail a
reach it.
save. So
Oh, okay.
You can critically fail a save, so you want to roll it every time. Because
What
Vic
is
could
the
just fucking
target?
give up.
Okay.
All right, digging in again.
Yeah, I don't see the bonus of tugging, so I'm gonna dig in.
oof.
Tie.
So if it's a tie, you both get a point, I believe.
And then
And now, if he fails, and in brackets, or if the results are tied, his opponent gains 2.
Oh, so Vic gains 2 then, or yeah,
Nice.
whatever. However you got it.
Yep.
My words.
All right, digging in.
Strength.
Has the willpower of a rock.
26.
He goes to Vic again.
Yeah.
And Fort.
This is a terrible.
And he passes out.
Oh, natural 1. He passed.
Wow.
As his head hits the ground, he's out cold for the moment, and Thousand Bones says, "That should teach the boy a lesson in humility. You'll have to
Indeed.
forgive him. He's got reasons for the way he is."
It's okay. Every culture's young. Try to assert their dominance in different ways. They're those people who just slam each other's hands on the table, and those who throw darts. And this was an interesting new competition to learn.
I'm
Meanwhile,
impressed with your
Sophia's
strength,
riling the
Vic.
crowd T-posing.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Vic says
Trojan
everyone.
was able to defeat.
But-
He was just going to say that he's impressed with your strength, Vic, as Crojan was able to defeat an orcish horde all on his own, and it seems that you were able to best that kind of strength.
That would be a fantastic ally to one day have.
I mean, I must question the efficacy of that story when I look at the unconscious guy on the ground.
Well,
Define
His
a
muscles
horde.
have muscles.
Horde is a varied word. Is it a few?
Let me
Is
send
it
you.
many?
I like to send you guys a picture of Crojan
Mhm.
because they got a good picture of him.
What if he's just 7 foot tall?
He's just a big guy with in one hand he carries a giant fucking Thunderbreaker hammer, and in the other he has that claw.
He is the character to build for that.
Hammer with one arm because the other arm is holding.
It's a special combat style that Shawanti have where they can one hand wield Earthbreaker hammers, even though they're two-handed weapons.
Thunder and Claw.
Mm-hmm.
That
I'm
is
now
a
going to make it
picture
and
of
bring him
Crojan.
back to us. Oh yeah, that's the picture.
Most of that looks performative muscle. I mean, is show muscle.
lot of airbrush. He's doing beach muscle exercises.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a bio real quick though,
All right.
and then we'll get to the chief returning and where we go from there.
I'm gonna do the same. I just want to say, looking at this picture, I do appreciate that he is a dude with the classical female fantasy armor problem of
Mhm.
protecting all the places that don't need to be protected.
Survivor bias.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna go for that stomach right there. All right, I'll be right
And
back.
everybody that returned from war came back with groin shots and
Yep. Right back.
I'm back.
How much side questing we'll have to do.
Back.
But we're off to a good part where we, kick the ass of the vocal champion. That is
I mean-
game.
What else are you gonna do to a noble champion? Be nice to him? God no.
I think the takeaway there is whenever a dwarf has the option to dig in, you know what to do.
Yeah, I gotta learn that, figure that out halfway through. I'm like, he's just gonna dig in every time because dwarf. You're right. There's not really a benefit versus digging in versus not.
No. And RP wise, it matches. I don't think he was going to try and be the aggressor at all. And again, 4 foot tall dwarf plus 7 foot tall giant. Dig in.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm back. Explore the back of the city.
Is everyone here now?
I'm here.
I heard Loki.
Question.
I think you're far away from your mic, Michael, because I hear your voice, but it sounds very, very distant.
Yeah.
Probably has it up. I think he has a headset.
I should probably get a regular, standing mic again, because I think this headset's kind of shitty, but.
For now.
And I used this with a standing mic, but it didn't. You guys comparing the two microphone qualities didn't make much of a difference. So I also probably didn't have it configured correctly or some shit.
Technology. It's supposed to make our lives easier, but it just gives me a migraine most of the time.
I just want to get to the point where I can have cyberpunk type superpowers with technology. I feel like we're really living in
AFK 1 sec.
we're living
Yeah.
in the. Oh, what was that?
Oh no, I was just agreeing
I
with
heard
you. Go
Cody say
ahead.
something.
Oh, he said he'd just be right
Oh
back.
yeah, we live in the most awkward time of technology. I think where it's we can see what it's going to be able to do in the future, We're just not there yet.
Mhm.
And I, for one, can't wait to give Elon Musk a Neuralink into my brain.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
He'll be number one. Do you guys see that? He faked being number one Path of Exile player on the leader.
Mhm.
Hey, still better than the Nazi salute he did.
God, what a sad
Oh,
man.
God.
Like the Path of
I thought we
Exile
weren't going
thing.
to talk about this.
I'm not going to
I
talk about it anymore. I just said
We're
one
not
thing. I'm
talking about
sorry.
I was going to talk about him faking being good at video games because like he's
Yeah,
the
that's
richest man
much
in the
more
world,
fun.
but he lies about that. That's so fucking sad.
Mhm.
Like-
He gets online, and what he thinks is cool to do online is to go, I spend every waking hour of my day playing video games. What are you trying to prove?
Like, not saying that this is a good thing, but what happened to like the out of touch kings that were like, I don't care what the peasants think. What's this? I'm so desperate for the approvals of strangers on the internet. I could buy a country, but I need to fake being good on a video game leaderboard.
Hey, if he bought a
I
country,
think
he'd
it's
be
hilarious.
responsible for it, okay?
Well, they
I think
invented
that's
social
perfectly-
media, and then somehow they couldn't resist putting all the fucked up shit they used to do behind closed doors on the internet for everyone to see.
Yep.
It never stops being funny to me that the man has all the money in the world, yet my ability to live with myself every day is something that he simply just cannot acquire.
Well,
That's good.
All right,
Okay.
Pathfinder time.
So-
Unconscious man on the ground, the leather strapped headbutted to death.
Shortly thereafter, you guys are brought out to meet the chief, who arrives back from his day of hunting. And you see, the first thing you notice is not the chief himself, as he strikes a rather unremarkable figure, but what he rides into the Callow Mounds on. And I'll send a picture so there's no confusion, because it's one of those monsters that I don't know how to say the name of correctly.
Chimera.
No, it is essentially what you're looking at is a drake or dragon with a lion's head.
You send it?
Dragon? Dragon? That's how I would pronounce it.
Mm.
Except its wings have been damaged beyond repair. You can see holes and slices through the wings, so this one can clearly not take flight. And it also seems quite a bit older, with a gray going in and out of its fur. But that is the creature he rides into town on. Before making your acquaintance, you probably in the presence of the shaman, who's a respected figure in the community.
I think Merrick's veterinary instincts are going to kick in. Just kind of, as best he can from a distance, inspect the care of this being taken care of that critter.
Mm.
Like, obviously, its wings are battered, but that's probably the rough and tumble life. But is it like properly cared for?
Mm.
Show me a roll like.
Yeah, give me what you
Happy
think
for
would
it.
be appropriate.
All right.
Animal handling?
Probably either animal handling or heal.
I'm good with either.
It's the same number. Ugh, natural 1. Or 16 numbers, but there's a decent number of 1s, it seems.
Given the harsh climate, it's a little bit hard to tell if the wear and tear is just signs of but seeing to as it's grown to such an age, it's likely they're feeding it enough.
Okay.
Wing bad, creature big.
As he arrives, two more of the Shoanti come up to you and says, the chief will speak to you during the Bone Council. It happens around the fire. We should all gather there.
Very good. And he would ask if there are any customs he should know of.
Odds, I hope it's not what I think it sounds like.
Just show respect to the chief and show respect to our ways, and we should be the most forgiving Shoanti you find out here.
Definitely been very welcoming hosts, and we thank you.
More people start to gather around this fire as it blazes in the night. You now see the smoke arising from the very position you saw it those days before.
Listen,
Out
all I'm
these
saying,
leather set.
go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
They take out these leather sacks and they go up to the fire with this greenish brown herbal dust, and they throw it across in a green ember. And Chief One Life speaks. He says, I have been informed you have already done my people a great favor by returning the body of one of our warriors. I sense now you in return, yet know that by asking for this, you are helping us all. The Skonquaw are a peaceful people, yet we are also all but shunned by our kin. Our willingness to mix with outsiders shames many of my brothers and sisters in the other Quaws. Only their respect for our tradition of guarding and protecting the dead of all Shoanti keep them from open hostility against us. My word is when I warn them of Queen Iliosa and her rise to power. They hear tales of a city in flames and its king dead, of disease ravaging its people, and they see this as just punishment for a hated enemy. My people do not see that a greater threat is growing in this turmoil. And now, you come to me with concerns, seeking the aid of my people. Speak of what you wish of the Shoanti, and perhaps we may find our needs are the same.
He would say thank you for the opportunity to speak and for the chance to be amongst his people. And he would explain the rising threat of the fear that the warlord has taken control through magic means of the current queen, and that we hope for finding the temple or fortress that we seek to begin to combat that, for that is a rising enemy for all people, including the Shoanti.
And your name was?
My name is Vixen Vic Hammerhand.
Vixen Hammerhand, you speak of magical influence on the Queen. In the interest of making sure we're all prepared to fight the same enemy, I'd like you to elaborate on all you know of this influence.
Yeah, he would, without holding back.
all would listen.
Would Sophia
So-
chime in about how she saw the queen take an arrow to the eye and keep going?
I mean, probably. I imagine like I imagine Cope's character's telling the majority of the story, but we're all kind of chiming in
Mm.
with little bits that we like know and everything. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
he
was
would-
muted and I didn't want to interrupt his explanation, but I imagine that's what we're doing.
And
It wouldn't
I
be just like
imagine
one
it's
person
very
talking and everything.
tribal. Yeah, I imagine it's a very tribal, very slow ceremony, and that he would, since he's speaking in, I guess, Shawanti, the chief doesn't speak common, but he would act as a translator,
Yeah.
and as he gets to certain parts in the story, he would translate for Sophia into Shawanti, and give it a story-like feel for all the people sitting around the campfire, because he's not just pitching the king at this point, or the chief at this point. He wants all of the people to
Motivating the tribe.
all of the people to be on the side of action.
As the tale of that ancient warlord from eons past is told to everyone here at the gathering, you see some of the children go and run off to their yurts or hide behind their parents as they realize the and Chief One Life listens to your explanation thoughtfully before concocting his response. He says, "My people dwelt where your people live now. Not so long ago, we remained there for many, many generations. Across the centuries, my people have always kept the lore of our ancestors in mind, passing knowledge to new generations. The axe came to us with war and drove us to the Cinderlands so many years ago. We fought and died, and many of those who died took this lore to their graves. The specific artifact you seem to be speaking of, it's unfamiliar to me, but the name Kazevan is not entirely so. It is a name associated with a great and ancient evil, and many Shawanti believe such a name aloud is to preserve the evil. This, coupled with the depths of so many lore keepers, accompanied with the depths of so many lore keepers, has sequestered the knowledge I suspect you seek in the minds of a rare few. The sun shamans of the Sklarqua. They alone preserve the history of the Shawanti in the lands you now call Korvosa. But they do not share this with outsiders, or fellow Shawanti for that matter. Yet, if you were able to my people, to earn proper respect, even the eldest of the sun shamans would come to agree to provide the knowledge you desire."
I missed that one part. I got a question, Michael. Since you came back, did you switch mics? Is that what you said?
No.
Okay, because you started
this is
cutting
the
out
same.
a lot. Where on the first hour,
That's internet, man. I can't do
you
anything
weren't
about
you
it.
weren't cutting out at all on the first hour of the game, but you just started. So I wondered if when you came back something changed.
So
That very
So what do you
last
need me to
part
clarify?
said, just that very last part you said about the sun shamans don't share the knowledge, but if
yet if you were able to build your names among my people and to earn their proper respect, the sun shamans would eventually come to provide the knowledge you desire.
Vic would translate that to the group, he would thank the chief for his response, and he would ask our group if there are any other questions that we have for the chief or for his people. I think that
What was it previously mentioned? Ways to curry favor with the Sun Tribe, like what their trials or feats of test or the test is like.
He said for the Sun Tribe, he says, if you, he'll say, Enforcement of the other tribes will be the primary means by which to earn good graces. But you've also come across one opportunity already, I'm told. Our guest Krojan. If you were able to earn his respect in some way, his word would surely mean much among the elite of the Sun Clan, as he is one of their legendary heroes who's accomplished tasks thought to be impossible by a single man.
I look at the unconscious body. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still laying in the sand.
So do I break his mind now, or
It is one thing to defeat an enemy in battle, but it's another to earn their respect.
Mhm.
It'll be more than just a game of Sredna to earn the respect of Krojan eats what he kills.
Is there any sway that the word of the Moon Clan might have over the Sun Clan?
Huh? Say that again?
Is there any, let me simplify. Time is of the essence for us. Would convincing the Moon Clan that we are worthy help the Sun Clan agree to the same? Basically,
The
is there
Moon-
any reason to waste time going to the Moon Clan?
Well, getting the Moon. Oh, you're saying not to waste time going to the Moon Clan.
I think he's asking, would it be a waste of time to bother with the Moon Clan, or should we just focus on trying to appease the Sun Clan?
I'm afraid that without some sort of endorsement from the Moon Clan, the Sun Clan is unlikely to hear you out. However, I do know of one who could give you such an endorsement, a truth speaker. These are born across many different lives, reincarnated over and over again, who have acquired, through their study of these past lives, much knowledge and respect among all of the Quas, gained the Truth Speaker's endorsement, and the Sun Clan would take that quite seriously.
Could you
Um,
make an
He
introduction?
would say
to
that,
them?
unfortunately, here, the most of the Moon Clan is sequestered up in the more northern regions, far beyond the Cinderlands. I don't know how many of them you'll meet out here.
And is that where the
They
truth
do
seekers are?
Yeah, they do have a permanent settlement that remains empty for most of the year. If you were going to try and find them, I can mark it here on your map.
That would be most kind of you.
If there are any left, if there are any left here in the Cinderlands, they will most likely be located at. Let me find. The House of the Moon is the name of the building, an ancient temple for the Moon Clan. And I will mark it. Layer is it on? The GM layer? No, it's map layer. Yes. Oh, did I leave that on there originally? I think I did. I'll just mark it and then I'll, in between games, I'll put a cool marker on there for you.
Cool.
But red, I will put
might want to
House
realign the
of the Moon. Grid looks aligned to me. Is it not aligned for you guys?
no.
Yeah, you pulled it back. On mine, it shifted out and then back
It's
in.
aligned enough on my end.
I'll try refreshing to see if it's an issue, but it looks very out of alignment for me.
Yeah, it's out of alignment for me too. Refresh.
Nope. Yeah. Now
Refreshing?
it's back into shape when I refreshed. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think he accidentally grabbed it, and it
Yeah,
moved,
it's
shifted
good
for all
now.
of us.
Good for now for me. So
House of the Moon. All right, teleport there.
that it would be incredibly inaccurate for me to try to do that.
This would be fun. This is kind of a session where all sorts of Shawanti are talking out and trying to think of ways for you guys to earn respect among the other clan. And one shouts out, "What of the Thrall Keeper's mark?" And they would elaborate that in ancient times there was a caste of spellcasters. The Shawanti remember as the Thrall Keeper. Now they are gone, but some of their buildings remain. One such building remains in the Cinderlands, a dangerous acropolis that many Shawanti voyage to, seeking to earn the Thrall Keeper's mark. Shawanti who've earned the Thrall Keeper's mark are known to be powerful, lucky, or both. This would be a sign of automatic respect to come from any Shawanti who knew that you were carrying.
That definitely sounds
What does the
beneficial.
mark look like? I ask Vic to ask.
My feeble bones, weak friend here is worried what the mark looks like, he would say in Shawanti, knowing that you can speak it.
Very lucky I'm good at bluff. Yes, my weak bones. Where are you, Vic? And I just keep slapping you in the back of the head. The cataracts
Voice-
have taken
voice
my eyes. Kick you in the
Voice
head.
inside my mind says, keep fucking with the wizard.
I'll go ahead and the chief will actually say that he has made this pilgrimage once before, and he will show you the mark that he had acquired so many years ago. So you can see what the Thrall Keeper's mark looks like exactly.
Oh, and he would ask what he had to do to acquire it. Seriously, that looks like a dude was just playing with the throwing star and got it too hot.
Ouch! Tom and Jerry style.
If I heat them up, they'll go through the wood easier.
That the mark is acquired by going through the treacherous acropolis of the Thrall Keepers and ancient wizard's tower, filled with magical ailments. But should you make it to the top, then you will receive the Thrall Keeper's mark from an ancient magical artifact that the Shawanti don't exactly know the origins of.
Is it a singular trip, or could it be a group to try and venture through?
I see no reason a group couldn't attempt the trek together.
Very good. He would ask if he would show us where it was.
Yep.
And then he would encourage the tribe that has been so entertained by their stories for any other ideas or ways that they could gain favor with the tribes and help protect us all. Oh, that's not far away.
Silence falls over the group, and then one older man says, "What of the story of Skookrak?" He would be shushed pretty quickly, unless anyone
Oh, Vic would-
asks him to.
yes, ask, please. What is the story of the word that we will not repeat?
They would insist it's a foolish. They would say that it's a silly tall tale, but the old man would continue anyways, and he would say, "No, the most legendary of Shoanti heroes, Skukrak. He ventured into the Cinder Maw's hunting grounds, found the great worm in its home, and there he was reborn, consumed from the belly of the beast. If you can
Consumed what?
recreate, it would quickly be explained to you by the other Shoanti. The creature he's speaking of, the Cinder Maw, is an ancient giant worm that lives in the northern regions by some volatile terrain and sort of seismic activity. There exists this worm that swims underneath the sand and is, gargantuan and survives on eating tons and tons of these style wildlife, and so it is kind of the ultimate predator, the Cinder Maw. And this
Okay,
man,
so it's
Skukrak,
doomed.
in order to redeem himself for a past crime, went into the belly of the beast, was completely consumed, and then cut his way out to proverbially be reborn anew and be forgiven of his crimes.
All right. Well, we'll put a pin in that one. And then they continued the night with conversation, and Vic would ask about other games similar to the one he played with the giant guy, other contests, other competitions they have in their culture that they, their culture centers around what they consider important. We don't have to flesh that out. It would just be kind of gathering local knowledge.
Out of character, real quick. Has every book in this AP had a new game added to it?
I hope so. I was thinking
Because
so
the
many
first one
games.
was Knivesies, right? Or that knife one. Then it
Mhm.
was Blood Pig, and now we've
Blood
got the what this past game was.
Yeah.
And is this book 4?
Look, let's see. Let's try and actually, I can just look because I keep them in handouts. So, book 1. If I look at my handouts, we have. Well, I don't see Knivesies in here. Oh wait, it would be in Eel's End. Knivesies. And then 7 Days to the Grave. I don't know if there were any games.
I think we played a drinking game in that one.
Either that, or we're all social distancing because of plague.
True.
But Escape from Old Corvosa, of course, there was Blood Pig.
Hmm.
And
Wait,
then
wasn't there that
we did
crime fight
Shrek
against
Mall.
that guy who owned the crime syndicate and I got on the table and pushed him off? Or is that a
That was
different book? I think?
Knivesies.
That was
That was
Knivesies.
Knivesies.
Yeah, that was Knivesies from book 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's only book 2. I can't think of exactly a game that we did, but you guys know the
It could have
location.
been it could have been the like rooftop chase, kinda. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. Anything else? Anyway, sorry.
You guys now know the locations of 3 notable places that you could go, and ceremonies will continue to the end of the night.
Right, so I can definitely fake that.
So how closely are people watching Sophia?
I mean,
You
Vic's not
asking
watching
us
it.
or the tribe?
Oh no, you guys, because she'd probably just take off and start drinking with people who are far too old to be drinking with the child.
Oh yeah, go socialize amongst the native people.
I mean,
You
I
can
would
do
say
full Peter Pan with a little kid smoking the fucking tobacco pipe.
Yeah,
Probably.
I was gonna say for Theobald, it would be more of making sure that I know where you are. While I'm like, oh, underage drinking? Yeah, sure, I don't give a shit.
Every time
Right.
she drink, she would just hear a grumble in her head that she would choose to ignore.
Mhm.
I imagine
she'll
Merrick
feel
would
them.
try to seek out, any of the people that, do like that have animal companions, and just kind of see if they have any like recommendations for, animal companion travel in this sort of environment and all that stuff.
You
Basically,
should ask
yeah.
about that lion dragon thing.
Yeah, I think Merrick would be interested in starting a conversation with the shaman and just kind of see if he could connect over like, again, animal care and just how, yeah, basically as, a lifetime, caretaker of animals.
Yeah. He would explain that many years ago, he met this dragon who was on the brink of death after just being attacked by a bullet. Caught off guard, its wings were completely crippled, but feeling sympathy, the chief one life raised him back to health. And him and this creature named Wicked Claws have been inseparable ever since. Wicked Claw.
Yeah.
He would say, any form of travel will be perilous here in the Cinderlands. There are threats that come from both ground and air. Traveling by air would make you to certain creatures would be able to see you from farther away that if you were traveling by air. Possibly airborne creatures that are able to fly faster than you are. Gargoyle tribes, which litter the Cinderlands, also can all fly. So air travel isn't
I'm
the
sorry.
hack you might think it is.
No,
I'm sorry. Did you say gargoyle tribes?
Gargoyle tribes.
That's the single player race I've never done that I would love to. Did y'all watch that show when you were kids?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
Oh,
That is
Oh, yeah.
the premiere show when I recommend old like 90s cartoon
Mhm.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and Batman the Animated Series.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
first 3 seasons.
all right. So can Vic die now and come back as a gargoyle?
As a gargoyle.
The second we come across a gargoyle tribe, Vic's just gonna be like, oh, he died. Rocks
No,
fell.
Vic,
Too old now. I gotta die, I guess.
he fell on a sword. All right. Sorry to disrupt.
Merrick would say that one of the first things I learned is how visible you are in the sky. So I certainly understand the risks that presents, and just I'm trying to remember our character. The Sable Company is not really revered by these people, right? Or not revered, but like regarded in kind terms, or are they just
Favorable
kind
or
of
anything?
No, not at all.
okay?
No, they
So,
were
yeah,
the
he-
people
he-
that patrolled outside and killed
Yeah,
them.
he would not mention that. Although I imagine they in the telling of what all happened, they probably realized, or it would have been announced that the Staple Company had been, slaughtered.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cheers from the show, Auntie.
yeah, I think that there's sorry, I just needed to remind myself not to mention, yay, Stable Company.
Don't you know about the Sable Company? We're the bravest warriors ever.
Right.
Merrick's over there being awkward. All of a sudden, you hear Sophia. Who wants Pesh? I got Pesh.
See, was it brave
Oh,
when
look,
the when your Sable Company drove my people from their homes? And
And yeah, I
Love
think
the
after that
pool.
conversation, Merrick would then proceed to just hang around and try to keep Sophia from going too hard because, they're probably going to be traveling in the morning and.
Yeah, she is getting white girl wasted.
Mm,
She can puke her way along in the morning. Somebody hold her hair back. White girl wasted.
I'm gonna say,
Someone's gonna pick up
you
on
know,
that.
so
Oh,
many
I
settings
put down
do.
beer. I'm sorry, I put down beer number 3. Does anybody know where I put down beer number 3? I can't find it.
Wicked Claw's more like White Claw.
Well played.
And we really got a Coach Funny Bone with this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was good. White Claw.
Okay. I forgot what I was even gonna fucking say.
Sucks.
Oh yeah. Pathfinder was really interesting because so many fantasy settings do the thing where it's like fantasy races is going to be basically an analog for a real life race of people, and it's kind of weird when they do it that way because humans are always white Europeans.
Right.
So Pathfinder was an interesting setting to get into where it's like we have these fantasy races, but then we also have different ethnicities of humans. Presumably, I guess the other
yeah.
races, because I imagine there are probably like Garundi halflings.
Yes, there are.
Yep.
Yeah, that is something interesting. Because like original old school D&D settings, like Greyhawk and Mystara, were very much the same thing, where all the different ethnicities based upon real life human cultures, they were all human. It was actually elves, dwarves, and halflings that only ever had like one culture across the entire world. And then Pathfinder, it's mostly humans, and then they have some like local variant subcultures, like Mwangi dwarves, which are all dark skinned and stuff like that.
Well,
They have
they
their
started
own.
breaking out like Sylvan elves versus high elves versus
Yeah, that came
Underdark
later.
elves.
Mhm.
And same with dwarves.
Yeah,
Although halflings, I'm not aware of halflings ever being
yeah,
split.
not as much because then they included gnomes, and it's my whole thing that I bring up a lot about
It
gnomes.
really should be one.
They should really just be one. They're way too similar for my tastes.
Yeah, probably. I would prefer just halflings, but gnomes.
Yeah,
I don't know who likes gnomes.
Not
Everyone
many
likes
people.
hobbits. I don't
Fey
know many
people.
I actually like gnomes, yeah, because I also like
Yeah.
fey people.
Like I do have a plan of eventually playing that Bleachling gnome that I told you about. That
Yeah, I look forward to
all
that.
his magic is rainbow colored and like magical girl themed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just fully pale and white, wears white clothes. Like, hey,
Fly.
Oh yeah, no, they did good things with gnomes and halflings as separate things in Pathfinder. But like, if you look at any of the modern day like Dungeons and Dragons stuff in 5th edition, they put none of that effort in.
Yeah.
They are indistinguishable. Like the halflings don't even have big feet like hobbits anymore. Like it's really a squint and you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
well, remember they also went the ass backwards way in 5e now, where like they lost any semblance of identity they had in races
Mhm.
in order to make them more homogenized, but then it took away any variety.
We've had this conversation before, Richard, where like just remove it as a mechanic and make it a flavor option on your character sheet.
And just have the background
Yeah.
be where you get most of your features from. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to have it be a mechanic, then just don't have it be a mechanic. Don't.
Oh, is this a conversation of we can't use the word race to?
No,
more or less a variation of it.
It's some of that, and
Mhm.
some people whining because they want to play a particular race, but because it doesn't have ability bonuses, it's not optimized, and they somehow feel like that's cheating them. But then if you make it so that way ability scores are universal like humans, then you're just kind of slowly but surely ironing out the flavor. When the answer is, if you want to play an orc wizard, then just fucking do it. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
so-
if you get the +2 to intelligence. Just
Right.
live with
Sounds
it.
like we're trying to breed out the ability scores.
Yeah.
I like different races. I like that they do different things.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Pathfinder Second Edition
100%.
goes hog wild, and it's fantastic.
I
They
still
hard lean
had-
into it.
I still have hard hats off to the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah.
Kenneth was a badass.
at level 1, that was crazy because the numbers are so low that the wizard could essentially fucking DPS for us with the claws.
Yeah. Tank.
That was
Right.
fun at the early levels for that though. Like
Mm.
he barely played as a wizard for the first couple levels. But I mean, logically, lizards, claws, like even if you have like a neutral attack score, you're fighting zombies and skeletons mostly. It wasn't too big of an issue.
Yeah. Goblins.
And goblins.
Yeah, and they had the
No breathing underwater
Yes.
like Skyrim, though.
yeah,
Has anyone else, before we... Oh, sorry. You're really quiet for me, so I can't quite hear you.
yeah, I'm kind of muttering. Had the arcane exploit that's basically free mage armor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She was a beast.
Mhm.
Pun intended.
Mm-hmm. Before we get back to the game, anyone else ever... First time playing one of those Elder Scrolls games, you load up a fucking arc. Anyone else ever load up one of those Elder Scrolls games? Sometimes I feel like I just do a pause because I'm not good at
Mhm.
talking and you guys think that I'm muted.
Ah.
But and you choose Argonian because you're thinking, dude, you can breathe underwater. I'm gonna be able to find so much cool shit, and then you realize none of the game was built
Yeah.
for you to be able to breathe underwater. So there's nothing.
Yeah, that was me in Morrowind. Except in that game, there was something underwater. Carverfish. Just fuck tons of carverfish. And they just murder me instantly. You gotta love a
This
game that
ability
punishes you
sucks.
for engaging with its mechanics.
I always
For
prefer.
Morrowind?
Morrowind, yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
You get off the ship, you select Argonian, and you're like, all right, I'm next to the ocean. I can breathe underwater. As a new player, that's the first thing I'm going to do because I selected Argonian. You jump into the water, you just get immediately piranha'd to death.
Yeah. I love the races in Morrowind are probably better than any of the other Elder Scrolls games because they're just so like unique. Like the beast races had better stats than all the others,
Mhm.
but as a balance, they couldn't wear leg armor,
Mhm.
so they were just always less armored than other characters. And as a bonus, they got to have weird beast legs, like those weird backwards facing cat legs.
Oh, yeah.
And now in Skyrim, they just have furry human.
Yeah.
Which for the Khajiit makes sense, I think, because they have different forms. So,
Mhm.
like, there is a Khajiit that looks like the ones in Morrowind, and also a Khajiit that looks like the ones in Skyrim. The Argonians, they completely, I think, just retconned their giant webbed feet.
Well, I mean, there's some Khajiit that are just literally house cats. So
Mhm.
Yeah, the Khajiit have this whole thing with the really cool. It's one of my favorite things about the Skyrim universe, actually. That's never explored in the games. They have this whole thing with the cycles of the moon, and depending on what cycle of the moon you're born under, humanoid or less humanoid, or there's one that just looks like Neko girls, and then there's one that's like a giant saber-toothed cat.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're all just as sentient as the human ones.
My race does enough moon sugar that your genetics are linked to the moon now.
But the festivities come to the close at the end of the night. Everyone retreats back into their yurts.
I'd like to believe that during all the wild
And
drinking
you guys are
and
left to
tribal
formulate
talking,
your plan.
during all the camaraderie building, that we actually just had all of those conversations with the show auntie. Yeah, the weird cat people. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard some of them can turn into house cats.
fucking weird, I tell you.
All right. Well,
So, within the privacy of our own yurt to discuss our plan. All right. So I could definitely just fake that mark of the Thrall Keeper.
Okay.
Yes, that runs the risk of
Angering them more than
finding out.
helping.
Yeah. But
What is
it's
something-
definitely something we should keep in mind.
How much do you want to ass drag across the Cinderlands, though? Also, I would like to take this moment to momentarily gloat. It's politics. They live in yurts. They wander around the desert. Still, it's politics.
This is true.
Theobald smugly leans back, takes a drag for his pipe. They are no better than the rest of us.
Takes a drag of his pipe. I'm gonna tweet about this.
You're right. We're not out here to save them or their people. We're out here to save the city, and unfortunately, we need their information to do so. So, I believe the quickest way from A to B is the route we should take. So, should we head directly to the House of the Moon? Skip the Thrall Keepers. If Theobald thinks we need it in the future, he can produce it.
Matter of
It's
how
always
to
a solid plan B.
I'm honestly surprised none of you are tripping over yourselves to do the Cindermaw thing.
Which one's the Cindermaw? The names kind of got mixed up with me.
A giant underground volcanic worm that we crawl inside its gut and cut our way out to be, I guess. Listen, I am not super interested in being reborn from a fiery worm vagina that we make.
If you're going to do that anyways, you'd probably need a show auntie to
I already went through that 16
trustworthy
years
show
ago.
auntie to watch you do it anyways. So, you probably don't just want to go there and do it and just have to be like,
Could you
Yeah,
imagine?
Yeah,
because I don't want you guys to.
Look,
Can you
I've got a
imagine
second belly
going
button.
there
You
and
guys
doing
probably want to
that?
bring someone with.
Can you imagine going there, doing that, realizing that no one saw it, and he's going to do it again?
I'm like, no, I really did. No, I did. Oh, crap. All right, let's go. I'd prefer me to try and bluff someone to believe that I did the Cinder Mall.
I don't know who.
So it sounds like we're heading to the House of the Moon, which is where he marked it off all the way across this.
You know what they
gigantic
say: the
desert.
quickest way to earn respect is by lying.
That's not what they say, but that's what most people try. And some of us win.
Some of us.
You know what I'm about.
I need a bit of a reminder from a few sessions ago because we were originally following the river this way, right? Or were we looking to?
We were
Or-
heading like this. Why is it?
We were trying to find the
We were going like-
skull.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, and we're just following across the river just because we thought that's where people would eventually come and go from. Okay.
You
Oh.
guys were told generally things are more peaceful and tranquil around the rivers
Right.
and the water sources, but the further you get out into the plains and the desert, the more treacherous things are gonna get.
Since again names kind of confusing. What was the Thrall Keeper one again?
The Thrall Keeper was.
Was
Oh,
that
Matt.
wasn't the one where we had to prove ourselves? and
Ancient
bring
Wizard
back a-
Tower to get
Ancient
Okay,
Wizard
all right.
Tower to get the star
so
on your
quick
hand.
recap of everything, since I think people are a little scatterbrained here with the names. It's Thrall Keepers, Ancient Wizard Tower. That you go there, you find a magical artifact, you get a tattoo that earns you respect with everyone because they.
Gotcha.
House of the Moon is your best chance at finding anyone from the Moon Clan because they are currently not in migration for this area of the Cinderland. So if you want to make friends with anyone from the Moon Clan, you got to go to the House of the Moon. The Cindermaw is connected to an ancient hero who was reborn through being eaten and cutting his way out of the mouth of a giant dune worm. So the Cinder Maw is the Dune Worm. If you're gonna go there, you probably need a trustworthy Shoanti to vouch for you.
Mm.
Cough, cough. There's a guy called the Truth Sayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because
he's
depending
in
on
the
how many
House
we
of the
need to
Moon.
accomplish, honestly, we can go head toward the Thrall Keepers, and it's not that much of a detour from there to the House of the Moon.
True, but I like the fact that Theobald pointed out that he can put the little illusion of the tattoo on their hand for the Thrall Keepers.
I feel like that's gonna go bad, but okay.
Yeah,
It totally is, but let's do it.
Yeah, but that is gonna set us back so much if it fails.
yeah.
Like more than just starting from zero. That is gonna start from negative. We have some goodwill here. Well, you guys do. I'm new, but won't that
Yeah.
like ruin all of it?
This is one of those out of
I mean-
character things, or out of character, it's definitely a bad idea with the Go the Illusion. But in character, I have to say it
100%.
because that's definitely what Theobald would say. He would
Yeah.
definitely be like, "Guys, this is cheap."
Yeah. And Sophia seems pretty adamant to put her foot down, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we have some goodwill here. Let's not spoil it and hard. If it fails, it's just going to take longer than just going there and doing the tattoo."
Yeah, I imagine
character.
Vic is the only one trying to agree with it.
No, in character, Vic would have been like, yes, you're right. We 100%, if we're going to get the respect of a group that we want to trade with, we should abide by their customs. But out of character, Cope wants to fucking cheat and see what happens.
Of course, Cope does, because Cope is a chaotic menace.
We'll put this as a separate save state and play that one later.
If you're using an emulator, make sure to hit Shift F1 to save.
Mhm.
No, we're playing permadeath,
Maybe have
baby.
a coughing attack.
Iron
Yeah.
Man mode.
That's the
File.
only way to fly. All right, then. I think you all are correct. Kier, what's your opinion on proceeding? Kier, what the fuck are you smoking? Kier, where'd you get that from? You should. Oh God,
Not the whole I expected you
It's
to
called
use
the
that with.
spice.
these people have this great thing. It's called spice. It's all in the sand, man. And you just it's so fantastic. It just filters right through.
I feel like this
I
is
can
this is
see
rocket
all
fuel.
time now.
You can see all the time.
I can smell the
My annoying
universe.
pedophile grandpa won't leave me the fuck alone, though. That's a little Dune reference for the
Deep.
people in the audience. Telling you because
Yeah.
it's probably not gonna be in the fucking next movie.
Probably not.
I don't need any pedophilia.
I agree. I mean, I wasn't that torn up about it. More so torn up about the fact that the events of like multiple years happen in multiple months, but you can't really get around that. Anyways,
I definitely think we shouldn't be burning any bridges with the people that are on our side at the moment. Plus, who knows what we might find in any of these places that could help us fight.
That's a very good point. All these
Kier is
ancient
screaming,
artifacts.
"Go to the locations and find the magic weapons, guys! Please, we can't keep skipping levels like
Yeah,
this."
yeah.
No, I'm way gung ho. Let's go to the Thrall Keepers and then head to the House of the Moon because then we have something to show them. Heck, hey, look at the symbol we got. Isn't this cool? You should totally like us.
As I have said, out of character, yes, we should do that. In character,
Which is fun
Anyway,
because
Like,
in
yeah,
character, my character's like, yes.
narratively, this is also coming from
Sophia.
Sophia in a slurred, slightly drunk state.
oh no, Sophia's words are entirely unintelligible. We just have subtitles. It's just
There
like
we go.
plan.
And her dad said
Every time he brings up illusion, she starts poking Theobald's cheek.
All right, let's go to bed. Or we stay up and drink through the night. And I think we're all of accord of what we're going to do. But we'll sit here and talk about it for 20 minutes.
Enough. Well, if we need to return this place, now I've been here, it'll be easier to
Can
tell.
you guys? There we go. You guys should be able to move this little
Yep.
sack. There we
Yeah.
go. Try now.
All good.
All right. Cool. So, like I said before, you guys have a movement speed of 1 on this grid map right now. So every day you'll be able to move 1 on the grid. Let me see. I think they're gonna.
Rations. How are we looking on rations? Could we ask these people if they
still,
could trade for some rations? I've only got 19 days, and I feel like that's not going to be enough. 1, 2.
Well, we can
3,
also
4,
hunt
5,
as well if
6,
we need
7,
to
8,
desperately.
9, 10.
That
Oh,
is true.
19 days is plenty. That's probably as much as I need to carry. All right, let's
I have
roll.
34 days worth of rations, so I'm good.
So you're just like carrying.
Calculated your
Santa
journey right
Claus
now is gonna
bag.
take.
I have a handy haversack, so it helps.
Yeah.
Also, just because I had the extra money, I also have muleback cords, so even if I needed to, I could carry some good amount of shit.
Dude, you're like the most jacked 12-year-old girl ever.
I thought we
So
established
taking
this.
the most direct path from location to location, it'll take you about 23 days to hit all 3.
I've got
8
Okay.
to get to the first
Nothing to go
one.
wrong.
As Cope proceeds to throw his character into every dangerous situation possible, so he dies and he can come back as a gargoyle.
Gargoyle. With the top hat. I don't know why, but right now, Gargoyle needs a top hat.
Gargoyle with a top hat.
I'm
They
very
call him
sophisticated for
Gay Goyle.
I like that one, Michael. That was good.
All right, then we're off.
Boom. Day 1. Swimming with the alligators.
Day 1.
Crocodiles of the Nile.
Like I said before, eerie peacefulness around this area with you set up your camp next to the river and you see peacefully this day you just see, a auroch come and sip from the stream. Before being picked up by a giant bird and flown away.
That's an auroch, and that's a rock.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how they got their name. Rock.
That's good. All right, but yeah, not much happens on that
Nope.
day. Just track your ration.
Yep.
They do. Staying by the water.
Continuing to travel by the water. It is much the
I didn't get that commentary. Today is what? It's much.
just another relatively peaceful day. The most action you see is, animals ambushing other animals, but they seem to leave you alone as,
Have we-
most wild animals have learned to leave people alone at this point, I believe. Like if you
Have we heard anything about the mountains? Do we know not to go near the mountains, or have we gotten any warnings about the mountains?
I feel like the
Or can we
terrain.
do a knowledge?
Realistically, the area around the mountains would have foothills, which is a lot more craggy and difficult terrain. So I feel like just going closer would slow us down, if nothing else.
Yeah,
So should we
that's
just
going to be the
head
main
straight
thing.
north?
Is that the thrall keepers are on the other side of the mountains. So if you're going into that area where the river goes in between those two mountain ranges, then
On my way.
it's going to take you where the side tower is.
I think
But
we
it'll be more peaceful taking that route if you do it that way, because then you'll be traveling along the river.
Right.
Sorry,
Just
I
straight.
moved it, but y'all do what y'all want to do.
Vic ran
I-
ahead, and everyone has to catch it.
Yeah, I think just straight north, not going into the mountains, is the best call.
All right, everyone keeping track of the rations.
Yep.
Going into this space, roll me a d10.
Do it. A dealer's choice, I suppose.
I feel like you were the first one, so I think the one is the what stands.
You notice all too late that coming up on you is a pack of Shoan-T Burn Riders from the Sun Clan. They don't seem to have noticed you yet, but they are gaining quickly as they are traveling on their horses. So you can tell me how you're going to deal with that. If you're going to try and hide, tell me how you're going to do it.
Are there like
Yeah.
large boulders or anything in the environment?
Oh yeah, there would be. Yeah, it would be.
Cool.
This whole terrain would be sporadic, boulders and.
I tell
spiky
everyone
grass.
to bunch up close, and I cast Silent Image of a big boulder over the top of us.
Okay.
We are a part of the terrain now.
Okay, we'll call that. Oh. I don't know if you guys heard that fucking notification going off in the other room.
Nope.
Oh, there it is again. Let me see if it's going to keep going. Okay, I think that's it. All right, we'll call that a. What is there's this applications about
it
like
just
what kind of
create-
bonus that would be?
It just literally creates a visible boulder that we are inside of, like we're clipping into a 3D model. So I believe, unless they're literally coming up to start poking the rock, it'll be just
Okay.
an auto pass. If they're just riding past horizontally to us, there's literally no reason for them to question why another rock is there.
All right. Yeah, you made a good point. They ride on past you without you being noticed. And it seems you are safe for now.
And there we go. Basic illusionist shit. What are the rest of you gonna do? Hide in a bush? Up on an eagle going to the sky?
Hippogriff.
And proceed for the next 3 hours of you just gloating to yourself with all in earshot.
Yep.
Nanny, nanny, boo, boo.
just yeah. Had your dad fly you to safety. Pff.
I was just gonna summon a Triceratops and be like, "Hey, look, new prey for them. Let's leave."
I definitely think my plan was the least likely to backfire. Because even if they found us, they'd be all like, "Why are you under an illusion?" And we can be like, "Because we didn't want you to stab us."
Yeah.
It's hardly the most harmful thing.
Because you
Yeah.
guys look really tough.
Yeah. All right, let's go another hex north. Mark down my rations.
Yeah, you guys just move it wherever you want to go.
I did.
Give me another D10, whoever wants to do it.
All right, this time it's you, Richard.
Okay. 2. That tracks.
We're gonna do it in sequential order. Awesome.
You come across appears to be a sporadic patch of grass that spans for a couple of miles. Give me a perception check as you travel across this this kind of spiky grass that pokes in and out of these cracks.
Could I have done like as we came across it before we start walking on? Could I have done like a survival check or something to kind of identify it as far as like its properties and like is it edible? Is it
Yeah, you can give me a survival or a knowledge nature.
14 survival?
This is not exactly your home turf,
Okay,
and you never got that far outside of the walls during your training, so much of the flora is unknown to you.
that's fair. And yeah, just perception check.
Didn't know these oases were going to be out here.
Let's see. Perception, and we got another survival. Vic, weirdly enough, from some conversations with your old partner in crime, Leopo, he would have known a lot about this, the flora and fauna of the Cinderlands, and he would have talked about this grass that relies on rapid new cycling due to the poor soil of the Cinderlands. And
Wait,
around the time,
you cut out a
The
bit.
most important part: rapid
nutrient cycling.
Mm.
And then you remember what he said about that, just about the time that you notice you don't know where the fire starts, but it spreads very quickly across this grassy plain until you guys are being chased by a rapid fire across this strange.
I never knew you were so
everyone give me
topical,
a
Michael.
reflex save.
All right.
It's always
Awesome.
tough. It happens every year, Cope.
You know what?
So-
I am going to use one of my rerolls because we're late in the session. Because why the fuck not? That is better.
Jesus, same.
So basically, the grass is burning rapidly towards us.
Mhm.
I would want to try to smother it with a stone call to see if I could give us a little bit of like.
Oh, that's smart. Actually,
What does stone call do? A rain of dirt. Yeah, that's very smart. I will lower the DC, which means that unfortunately Theobard.
I got it. I re-rolled for a 20.
Oh, yes, you re-rolled.
so did
only.
Vic re-rolled 28.
Okay, so it looks like everyone succeeds. Yeah, so you all escape the fire looking at your back. And you remember that last part, Vic, about this grass that's natural life cycle is quite short and relies on the sporadic fires that start here in the Cinderlands. And basically the nutrients is constantly getting recycled back into the earth
That's
through
crazy.
the burning.
It's a neat idea. I'd also
It's almost
throw up communal protection from or communal resist energy through all that process.
All right. So we press north.
Which is good. Or do we hug the yes.
All right.
I think going this route is going to take us one day more, but it's all right.
I mean, if you guys want to do otherwise.
I'm good.
All right, what are we doing? Are we going to the mountain or are we going north? Someone make a
No.
firm decision.
Go to the mountain. No, go north.
Mountain.
All right,
Do
mountain.
it.
Thank you, Richard.
So we're 5 days in.
Mhm.
19, now I have 14.
Cope is like, no, not the spreadsheet again.
Yeah, I'll never do that again. I'm too downtrodden. At the time, it was fun and I was up for it.
All right. Give me another
Just-
D10.
It
when
lasted
anyone's
a
ready.
long time.
Hey, I told you at the start of the campaign a good chunk of it would be like that.
It's true. It's true.
I cleared it with you guys first.
Hey, we did it.
Hmm?
That's all. No need to do it again if we didn't want it.
Loki, roll a
Yeah,
D10.
here's-
It's your
Oh,
turn.
okay. All right.
Guess I'm a freak that likes inventory management.
Oh, I enjoy that too. Like,
I did.
Mm.
It's
I
just-
hate it. I hate inventory.
I am not a
man.
fan of inventory management at all.
In every game I play, I think it would be better if I had infinite inventory space.
Like the
Meanwhile,
only exception is like
Loki and-
I can get behind games like Minecraft where it's like craft
Mm.
builder ones where you have to gather resources because part of it is like
Mm.
keeping your resources and stuff.
Mm.
wait. Meanwhile, Loki and Gombo immediately learn research how to build boxes, and then immediately research how to build signs so that they can put signs over their boxes in their game to say if it's stone or
Mm.
metal or ore.
Oh no, I'll still
Uh,
do that, but I don't like that part.
Also,
I
if
do it to get
memory
out of the
serves,
way.
also if memory serves, Loki, you and I are the only two that like weapon degradation in games, right?
yeah. I do
that
enjoy
tracks.
Yeah, no, I hate
That-
that so much.
That's right.
That is an instant I will not play this game if it has weapon degradation anymore. I can't.
I feel like these things might be connected.
that. Yeah, sounds about right. Resource management. Yeah.
I was out here playing Fallout 4. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, duct tape that has plastics and synthetic leather.
I mean, with
Meanwhile-
Fallout,
Don't get
the
me-
degradation wasn't as painful for the weapons, so I didn't
Yeah.
really care about this one.
Fallout New Vegas, I thought the weapon degradation was pretty alright because it was pretty easy just to fix things in your inventory.
Yeah, that was harmless. It's like,
And it
oh, I'm gonna
fit
swing
with
this
the
sword a few
theme of the
times. Oh, it's
game.
broken.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is.
It's just not for me. It looks like a good game. I just couldn't get into it because of that.
It's
Yeah.
fun enough at the early levels, but then the monsters eventually get too much HP.
It's all about the theming of the game, right? So like Fallout is post-apocalypse. We're using broken weapons that have been around for years and years and years. We're repairing them with duct tape. This all makes sense. When I go to play The Legend of,
Zelda is what he meant there.
I go to be the hero of the fucking realm, man.
Yeah. My magic sword should last eons.
And the hero of the realm don't fix his shit every 90 seconds when it breaks. That shit just stays good forever because magic, and he's the hero of the fucking realm.
So I would say that the Master Sword should be a weapon that doesn't.
I think the
degrade
weapon.
or-
I think the Master Sword actually doesn't break. If I remember.
Well,
correctly.
it like
loses charge and then
yeah,
it
loses
takes on
charge.
type-
Yeah, but
Okay.
like you
It
just
is
said,
the
you know,
most
in a
durable.
post-apocalyptic wasteland, that's what Breath of the Wild largely is. You
Also,
know,
Breath of the Wild's weapon degradation is meant to reinforce the main gameplay loop. Is that it's encouraging you to get creative because,
Yeah.
like what Kenneth was saying about high-end enemies becoming very damage spongy, you're absolutely right. if you just try to fight them like a hack and slash game, that's not going to go too well. I use things like explosive arrows, setting the grass on fire, freezing people, and then hitting them so it does ×4 damage, and a bunch of other stuff like that to offset it. I love shooting enemies with electric attacks, which electrocutes them. Then they drop
See-
their weapon, and I pick up their thing. And then when I throw the weapon and I hit their head, it does ×8 damage, and it instantly takes them out.
Yeah, and you see, that's fun. That's great, and I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I think of Legend of Zelda, I'm not really here for this MacGyver-ass Link that's like creating magnet cannons to shoot at the giant Link hits shit with a sword and then he blocks it with a shield. And this is a
Look,
fun
guys,
gameplay loop that
If we
I
don't
felt
pick this
I,
up, I'm not going to become a gargoyle tonight.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so
Anyway, the D10 was a 6 on there. If you didn't see
Yeah.
it.
oh, I didn't see it, or else I would have picked up the pace. Okay. Reference back. Okay. You come upon an orc camp, but the orcs are not present at the moment. It seems this is where they were setting up, but all their things are here.
Do we want to do a steal?
What are the odds it's a trap?
Probably 60%. I can literally
What's-
summon something over there to raid whatever they want to grab and come back.
What are the relations with orcs for us? Negative.
Assumedly.
Jason Adriel, your friend who told you all about the Cinderlands before you came, should actually mark this on the map because you guys would know the location, told you about a city called Erglin. Told you to avoid it because they're not very kind to those from Corvosa, but it is a town composed of all of there's races that don't belong anywhere else, even in the civilized, relatively civilized mob society of Kermaga. Those who don't fit in even there end up in Erglin, a bit of a shanty town, run mostly by orcs, goblins, gargoyles, and other sorts of those low-tier monsters.
All right, let's take their shit, put it back into use, and go.
Here, hold on. Let me try something. I want to try it. I'm going to summon an invisible stalker for 11 minutes to go over there and just take their shit. It has an intelligence of 14, so I can tell it what to look for and grab.
Yep.
And it's invisible, and it can't be made
Hell,
uninvisible.
14's smarter than them. Although, do we
Just tells you
really
grab
have
food
orc
or anything
rations?
shiny.
Okay.
You want me to roll a stealth for it or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I hope you're ready for this stealth roll. $56. Oh, sorry, that was when it's
56.
standing. That's when it's standing still. Sorry, 20 less than that. 36.
37.
Okay, still pretty ridiculous. Okay, let me
They're always invisible.
see what. All right, roll me a 1d100.
28.
28. In the stash, you find you find 5 rations and a flaming a flaming one-handed axe. I forget the difference, whether it's a battle axe or... I guess it is a battle axe is the one-handed one, right?
Ooh, a flaming battle axe. That's nice. I'm not sure who will use it in this party, but it's still nice.
I mean, for any of our more martial inclined people, it's a backup, at least until we sell it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'll
and
hold
I'll
on
take
to it if you want to. Go ahead.
I'll take it.
If you speak orc,
Let's see.
Oh.
Speak a lot of things. Common, Shadow Tongue, Draconic, Infernal, Elven, Giant, Abyssal, Celestial, Sylvan, Aklo, and Shuanti. Nope, I do not speak Orc or Goblin. Bit of a blind spot for old Theo.
He says a flaming axe.
there's orc text on the hilt, but it doesn't seem like anyone can read it.
One axe.
I have a scroll of comprehend languages. I can use that to read it. I mean, I
Okay.
sit in my inventory, so I'll pop one and you read it.
You read it, and it simply says on the side of the axe the orcish word for barbecue.
Worth it.
What type of axe was it?
It's like the one-handed axe.
Okay. Battle axe.
Probably.
Okay.
And I just look up at Merrick. Congratulations, you are the now proud owner of barbecue.
I'm down for that.
Let's
I can
kill something
appreciate
so we
that
can
name.
Cook it on the axe. I want to do this so bad.
we just stole their grill.
Yep. Anyway, let's move. We mount up my summoned steeds and gallivant out.
We press on. Also, I guess everyone gets one ration.
So we skip that day's worth of rations, basically.
Nice.
I feel like Sophia's learning chaos as she's in this group.
Mhm.
But not through anyone teaching her. She's just like embracing it.
All right. Who's rolling today?
I know, Vic.
On it. What numbers have we hit?
6, 1, 2,
Yeah.
1d10.
7.
7. Maybe like a buried structure, but you see these sandy columns sticking up out of the ground. It's 4 or 5 of them in this area that you've come across.
Any
Is there
markings on the columns?
How close do you get?
I mean, they just look like stone columns, right?
Yeah, worn away by
I don't know, like
sand over, erosion and stuff.
5 or 10 feet away, just to see if there's any like writing on them.
Could I sense motive to know if there's any kind of like evil?
I mean, I already committed to saying I'm going over there, so
Yeah.
Got it.
This is how it plays out.
Yeah. You step forward. Let me make sure this is right. Sorry, I'm just double checking some really quick.
As the DM, when they say, "I can't believe they do this much damage," let me double check this.
Okay, so as you get close, Sorry, give me a second. All right, as you get close to the column and you move your face in to try and look and see if there's any text anywhere around this column, the two sides of the columns open up and a clawed hand scratches at you as an Ashwing gargoyle reveals himself.
Aha.
Vic
And it's
sinks
going
his
to get a
knees, tears
full
open his
attack
shirt,
on you.
says, "Take me now."
I knew I
That'll
wanted to
hit
be
for
it.
9.
Cope yells out, I want to be inside you.
Jesus Christ, that definitely confirms.
You're not an ass dancer,
That'll
but
miss.
you're an ass wing.
Let's see, 19. $40 points of damage, just casually. As everyone is now alerted from Sophia letting out a very large scream.
Mm. It's always something.
And the other gargoyle's wings will fold out and they will begin initiative. This is going to be theater of the mind. I think we don't need to get a.
All right.
I guess we could if we want.
I don't have a lot of time
theater.
left, so that was
I
probably.
mean, we
the
can do
most
Theater of the
useful.
Mind. We just need to have some tokens on the map so we can roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me get your tokens. Yeah, it'll be quicker. Just do it theater of the mind since we're here at the end of the session. It'll help us get through more.
Yeah, no problem.
Take you guys from over here. Bring you. Let's drop you guys. You can roll your initiative. I'll drop Ashwing Gargoyle.
Take a look at your hit points, guys. Mine weren't current.
Yeah, mine's up to date. I just don't have a lot.
Yeah, I have to update mine, but I'll fix that.
So I can get on the sheet. So
All right, Vic.
Word.
There's one in the front that Sophia was just attacked by, and then behind him, probably 10 to 15 feet in any direction, are the other three.
So he is going to swift action Bane against dirty ass gargoyles. And he is going to attack the one on Sophia.
All right.
I assume he needs to move there to get it done.
Yeah. You'll need to do a move and then an attack.
All right. So single attack, but he's going to use his special non-lethal to try and proc his intimidate. I think I can do all that stuff. God, we haven't played a fight in this game in so long. It's a free action, demoralize, have penalty, non-lethal, can sneak. Yep. All right. So he's going to come up and bash this dude with a bludgeoning.
All right, that's a hit.
Do it hit. All right. So he gets that damage, and it procs a free action demoralize. DC is 10 plus the creature's hit die plus the creature's wisdom bonus. And his intimidate. So just 35 bypass. 10 plus hit die plus wisdom might be close.
10 plus hit die plus what? Plus wisdom?
Wisdom bonus.
Okay. 15. 9. It would be, yeah, it beats it by quite a bit.
Okay. Then it is shaken with a -2 to attack, save, skills, and abilities. And then he gets on demoralizing. He already used his swift to bane, so he gets nothing. So he's done for the round.
Okay, I don't know if it's because I didn't open it for a while, but those icons took a minute for me to open. And I'm looking. Do we remember what shaken looks like on here?
No.
It should be
I'll
alphabetical.
just use one then. Oh, there we go. All right, just so I know to do a -2 on that one. In fact, just so I remember,
You want to put me and Sophia over there by him?
Yeah, that'll make sense.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Yeah.
keep it theater of the mind, but kind of like know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tabletop stuff.
I'll put these guys kind of.
Lucas is not
Surround.
probably going to be in this fight, so he's going to be over there.
All right, Theobald.
Can I perform a knowledge check or something to know
Gargoyle
if there's
time.
anything that normally naturally preys on gargoyles?
Knowledge, nature.
Okay.
Sulfuric acid.
16.
Gargoyle's ability to essentially, let me see here.
If there isn't
What
anything,
would-
that's fine. But
Well, there would surely be a couple of things, but I don't think many creatures would prey on gargoyles in the Cinderlands, even ones which would be more powerful because of their
Stony demeanor.
stone-like. Yeah, their stony demeanor
Right.
and
and they are gargoyles.
disguise ability.
It always
don't
varies
think-
from it always varies from setting to setting, but gargoyles are creatures, not constructs, right?
Yes, they are creatures. They're monsters.
All right.
Or
so,
monstrous humanoids.
perfectly fine. Of these 3 ones in the back row, is there anyone that's flying like in the air?
They're all on the ground right now.
Well, it's not as ideal for me, but it'll still work. All right. I'm going to target, let's say this middle one. And I am going to cast Baleful Shadow Transformation. To make that very long text short, I weave an illusion into its shadow, and then the shadow takes the form of, let's say, a tortoise. So it'll have to first perform a will save against my illusion DC. If it succeeds, nothing happens. If it fails, it mentally believes it is a tortoise, and it has all the mental abilities of a tortoise and loses all of its innate abilities of being a gargoyle. And then it'll have to do a fortitude save. And if it fails the fortitude save as well, then it turns into a tortoise.
That is fucking amazing.
And let me see if I can get higher than a DC 25. Whoop, nope, that's not right. That didn't work. Either way, that'll fail. So,
Well, it's 18.
Yep.
I like
Okay.
how you did the hashtag.
well, it's supposed to be a macro, but it didn't
Right,
work.
I know.
So
And now it gives a fortitude save,
then if it fails, it needs to do a
a fort save.
fortitude save.
Still DC
Yeah,
25.
okay.
And
Oh,
yep,
roll
I
20's
got
lucky
25.
again.
I got 25 anyway. Good. All right.
So you just turned it into a turtle?
I turned it into a tortoise. It believes it is a tortoise, and it is physically a tortoise with the attributes of a tortoise and the mentality of a tortoise. And it'll get a new fortitude save every 24 hours to try to undo that.
Holy shit.
And which one was that?
The middle one.
Which one? Okay, he's just out of.
Yeah, he's just out of
What?
comms.
What level was that?
6.
That is nasty.
Yeah, and I didn't roll higher, but I might, since it is an illusion spell,
You could have
Um,
upped the DC.
my up DC thing works on it. So Theobald's
Oh,
in the back
wow.
row going, Sophia's getting into again. That one. And its shadow shrinks, and then his body overcomes by darkness, contorts, and then it's just a small tortoise crawling away.
And was Theobald
Yes, very,
the one who had been mentoring Sophia?
very well played, Theobald.
That's my turn.
Like that connection.
All right. You guys better not let me get mauled to death by gargoyles now that they've seen me.
Fia, show him how good a man.
She's basically a 5-foot step back, and let me see. I have to roll a 1d3. Give me 1 second. Three. So 3 Brelania Zatas come forth, 1 in front of me, and 2 behind that same individual, because fuck him. He hurt me. Let me just throw these down to indicate the summon monsters. Actually, no. This one right here would actually be not adjacent to him, because that one's going to cure me. As its action, it's going to heal me for
Gotcha.
3d8 plus. Yeah, 3d8 plus, what is its level? Caster level 6.
Hey, bizarre.
So it heals me for 21. As that one's action. And the other 2 are just
Solid.
going to flank the other one with Vic. So it'll be these numbers plus 2. So 32, 22, 26, 26.
I like how Sophia's both our main healer and our main frontliner.
So I'm not
So
sure
those
which
are-
ones of those hit. So 2 higher than any of those numbers listed.
Okay. The 21 doesn't hit. The 20 doesn't hit. Everything else does.
Well, the 21's not an attack. That was my heal. So it's those 4.
And that's with me
both.
calculating. I just said it was 23 and the 22. Yeah. Yeah, so give
So
me
the
the
two
damages.
24s and the 30 hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just calculate the damage real quick. 6 plus 15. So that's 57 damage to it.
Right.
57.
And that is magical?
Yes. Also, it bypasses any DR because they're technically. Oh, actually, that's the question. Are these chaotic when they go to smite or like? Sorry, are they anything but neutral?
Yes, they are. They are not neutral.
Okay, so this. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I calculated the damage correctly. Otherwise, it would have been messed up. Okay, so yeah, that will be that damage, and it bypasses any DR they might have because it's technically considered a smite.
All right. He looks severely injured, that one. Kier.
Well, the other two might fuck off if this one dies. Move up and chuck first Tanglefoot bomb at him. And then the second would be just a basic bomb, which I think I have to do different damage for. But 25 touch on the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Your little basic Tanglefoot bomb. Fucking 60 damage. Not gonna miss anybody here. More than that. Almost 80.
Actually, I think it does the same damage.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, good, because I really have to pee.
Press this macro now. There we go. Now it's working. Yeah, Shadow Baleful Polymorph. Hell of a spell.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
the fact that even if they succeed the Fortitude save after the will, they still have the mentality of it.
Mhm.
Technically, I could do that to you guys if you want to be like a giant and think that you're a giant.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, he is Dunzo dead. All right. So we're gonna have him give me a little bit of yeah, these guys are gonna fly away.
Are they able to get more than 200 feet away for my turn?
Let's see. Got a full retreat. It's times 4. Yes.
Ah, dang. All right, fair enough.
They would be able to get about 240 feet away in one turn.
I'm not gonna run after them, but it would have been funny to Phantasmal Killer one of them as they're going away. See, what's the range on? No, Magic Missile, the same deal. Yeah, I don't have anything that long distance.
And if the fight's over, yeah, Sophie would get healed by Fool as she gets surrounded by all these mother hens of Azadas that heal her to full and then disappear. Because
I like to think all that happens and then Merrick looks up. Wait, what just happened?
just three angel-looking things.
I go over to America, put a hand on his shoulder. Could you do me a little favor? Could you kill that tortoise over there? And there's just a small tortoise slowly trying to follow the other gargoyle.
Sure. Fuck it, call lightning.
I didn't get to do my super move.
Just opera
She
music.
summons 3 of those things, by the way. They look like just basically fancy elves.
Opera
I love-
music as you see the turtle in slow-mo look up at the slow-mo lightning bolts come down towards it. Just
Because I remember water's weak against lightning or electric.
Yeah. I
and
I
it
love that
was-
happened.
They're in the
Sure.
desert. It could be a rock tortoise or a ground tortoise. We might not have issues. We might have issues there.
I love
Fair.
that all happened within roughly 6 to 10 seconds. Because think about how that went down. The gargoyle surprised Sophia. Big claw attack. She screams. The other gargoyles appear. Suddenly, Vic rushes in, lays into him with divine powered weapons. A bunch of extraplanar elf maidens appear. One of them turns into a tortoise, and then a bomb goes off. And the last two are like, oh, fuck, fuck. It was just a whole lot of anime power coming out.
Yeah.
What is that one skit where it's like the Angel Summoner and the BMX
Oh,
the
Bandit?
BMX.
Angel Summer and the BMX Bandit.
I think we decided Merrick is the BMX Bandit at this point.
Sure. Yeah, I've got
Just
the
because
animal
you're the one
companion.
that
I can do all
reacted
sorts of
last.
cool trips. Yeah.
Just thought this
Yeah,
was
but
a good
instead of a
time.
BMX, you just have a bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought this was a good opportunity to show off my fancy new level 6 spell.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
Just delete a man.
I keep having
God,
to hold back because I keep wanting to summon Mothman, but it's like because like one of its abilities is like, hey, it can cast any spell of 5th level or lower,
Hmm.
but doing so steers the flow of fate, which could cause issues down the line.
All right, well, that was a good day of travel.
I don't even know what that means. Like, how do you govern that?
It would be up to the GM.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
one of those things that I think more systems need to do, where it's the player can get a big power thing, but then the DM gets a free fuck you card that they can throw at the player later on that you can't go, that's unfair. It's like, you use the fate warping power. I get to burn you.
Mhm.
This is your punishment. Take
If
it.
I say you pratfall down the stairs, you pratfall down the stairs, damn it. All right,
You
but
guys have already technically warped fate in the can
Mm.
of our game here, so.
Nope.
It is
Mhm.
It is.
It is
Yes.
indeed.
Well, depending on what the encounter of the next test hex is, we might be able to get to the Thrall Keepers before close
End
the
of
book up.
session. Yeah.
Up to Michael.
Unless Michael has fully disconnected.
hello?
Yep. You there?
Yeah, hello? Testing?
Yeah.
One, two, three.
Yep.
Testing.
Everybody hear me?
You guys are cutting out a lot for me. Give me a sec. I think I may be able to fix it.
Paging Dr. House. Dr. Gregory House.
Maybe the end of the game. It's the end of the Badlands as we know it.
And I feel hot.
Okay. In the next couple minutes, we'll see if
I
this
do
is
feel
better or worse. All right.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
tonight, this is the first time you see the Acropolis of the Thrall Keepers from this far away. You see its of location with the dark swirling green cloud blessing above it, and you will with these green strikes of lightning coming down and hitting the ground around it, and it seems you'll have to walk through that inclement condition in order to approach the Acropolis.
So, lightning coming down from green clouds.
All right. I can try to do something to help us, but I just want to check in. We're 100% not on the illusory tattoo plan.
Yes, I am not on that plan.
Yeah, it's probably not for the best.
Really, because and then green lightning smashes into the ground and dust kicks up. It's feeling statistically not as hazardous as it used to be.
I can protect everyone. How many people? 10 minutes per level divide during the. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Yes.
10, so I can get 22 minutes on everybody. And it absorbs. We're 11th level?
Yep.
30 points? Yeah, we're pretty safe for the next 22 minutes. So I'll wait to cast it until we get close.
I have my own thing. I can throw on us if we really need it. It's a similar effect but different. It's one of those things that says functions as protection from energy, but does other things as well.
Yeah, this is resist, so they can stack protection and resist and stack
Okay, cool.
if that's communal or if you want to do it on yourself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's not communal. It's just the one. Dang.
Well, just put it on yourself because it's probably more like 120 points, and that would increase
No,
ours
it
from.
caps out at 60, so I'd better off just hanging on to my spell slots.
Got it. Yeah, I don't cast much. My casts are mostly for out of combat stuff.
All right. I assume that we move another hex and we press into the area.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And I can do this. I can do this resist energy 5 times, so I can cover us for many hours.
All right. Trekking across this area. Give me reflex saves, one and all.
I'm gonna use my last reroll for this session. Hey, that was a good idea. It's not much better, but it's better.
Yeah, I already used my reroll. I think I only have 1 hero point.
I have 2. That's why I was able to do it.
But as the day comes to a close, you're quite close to the Acropolis, but you will be tired out. Luckily, you find an alcove, a cave in one of these mountain facings that you can seek refuge in for the night.
Very good.
So the rumbling of the lightning outside, but inside the cave, you're relatively safe.
All right. Do we have a fast way to approach tomorrow morning? I can cover from the lightning for a time, but it seems like we need to just make our approach as quickly as possible. I'm thinking about your steeds, Sophia.
I mean, yeah, I can summon those whenever we need it, so that'll be the
If you
fastest
can-
way to get there.
Depending on how quickly you care about our ability to get out of there. If you can somehow find me to get eyes on the perimeter, I can just teleport us the remaining distance. Visual distance teleportation is remarkably accurate. And don't cringe, Michael. I'm talking about teleporting to the front door, not deep into the building.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if Merrick could take you up on his steed and get you within
Into the
eyes
lightning?
distance.
No. We're not going to get higher in the lightning.
Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were trying to look.
Don't you have that ability to like read somebody's memory?
Has someone been there before?
No, but I can summon something that can just teleport right there and back.
I suppose I could do that.
Like, because I can summon a succubus that has greater teleport, and we can describe the area that we heard about, and it still has a very big chance of failing, but it's better than you going there.
And we can literally let her walk outside and see the rising tower above it.
And she can fly, so if she can see the top of the tower, she can just teleport to the top of the tower, look down at the doorway,
And can
teleport back,
probably
and she can read her
survive.
mind. Because she can teleport at will, so it's not like a.
That
But she can only
is
teleport
a
herself.
admirable plan. I do want to take a moment and say, why can you summon a succubus?
Yeah, I was giving you time to explain, but
Well, I mean, I read books.
What kind?
Don't worry about it. I just found some under a bed one time, and I read them, and it was weird. But I remember
Who's-
what a succubus was.
bed and looks over towards Theobald.
Oh God, you found Rolf's girly magazines.
Let's not stop and wonder who can't summon a succubus. The point is, I can, and it can help do this.
Yes, I don't think any in this party should cast any stones.
I can also summon a shadow demon if it makes you feel better. Jeez.
How old are you exactly?
14.
A couple more years and she'll discover a Temple of Callistra and it's going to completely change her world.
Who the fuck is Callistra?
Oh, that's a conversation for another time.
You probably shouldn't say fuck.
Who are you, my
Callistra-
dad?
Out of character, Callistra is the elven goddess of lust, revenge, and trickery.
Mhm.
I
Their
remember that one.
temples, their temples commonly double as brothels because being attractive and good at sex is literally a requirement for their religion.
That's basically teenage. Yeah.
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 You all see her just pull out her notebook. Note to self: look up who the fuck Callistra is.
Quit using
Fireball.
the F word.
Nah, I don't care.
Everyone-
Flash the notebook.
So what's the plan for this next day? So we
I summoned
the finger
to
here for the next
appease
session.
a bunch of weirdos around me, a shadow demon to teleport toward the tower and teleport back, so he can read the mind of it to get a visual on it and see if we can
Okay.
get teleport closer. Because the things I can summon can only teleport themselves, not other people. So
The only issue with this plan is it's going to cost me 2 spell slots. So hopefully we don't need to teleport out of there quickly because I only have the one prepared today.
Well,
Okay,
this
so-
I mean, we can also
tomorrow.
just summon horses and ride there. It'll be easy. Like, yeah, there's lightning, but it'll be easy
Yeah,
enough to. Just,
it's up to you. That's why I was kicking out the plan.
I'm fine with just
Yeah,
getting
my
on the
lightning
horses and
protection
walking
is
over
pretty
there.
strong. It protects from 30 damage every hit.
Oh, then we can probably just
every
we should
hit.
just
It
tank
doesn't
it there.
decrease.
So we're
we don't-
mounting up with my communal steeds that I can summon, and we're just walking to the tower.
Mhm.
Now it only lasts for 22 minutes, but I can cast it 5 times.
Mhm.
It'll suck all those spell slots, but my spell slots.
I can
aren't
also
for it.
summon those things that can just heal us multiple times. So if we get
Yeah.
hurt anyway,
I
because
say
once we get
do
there,
that.
I'm probably going to summon
do
out
that
the,
and save some.
the ghost dad.
I think the most important spell slots are Theobald teleports.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just
I
ride.
always keep one prepared for emergencies.
Up close, the tower is much less of a spectacle. What you saw hanging in the air was merely a facade of one side of the building, the other side completely sunken in from some sort of magical disaster that happened a millennia ago. But it is still an imposing sight from the outside. What once was a grand wizard's tower now lies in ruins without going inside. I think I said when you reach the top, I was actually mistaken. It's a chamber underneath is where the magical item is, so you'll have to go into the basement. Think, what was that? The library from Avatar.
Mhm. Yeah, Amashu, I got you.
Yeah.
Cope totally knows what we're talking about.
Cope, you need to watch Avatar. I get
You
you're
know,
not
honestly-
a cartoon guy.
Wait,
Honestly,
Avatar, like
wh-
the Blue People world?
No.
No, Avatar:
No.
The Last Airbender. You know, honestly,
Oh.
Cope, you've got Netflix, right?
I've seen one of them. I've seen a movie, Avatar.
Don't
The Last
count the
No,
movie.
Airbender.
No,
Nope, it's
no.
not
No.
the movie.
Those are
No.
shit.
Animated series.
Okay, here. I was just gonna say, if you have Netflix, watch the Avatar: The Last Bender series with your daughter.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
about to
that's a
ask,
really good one.
At what
Yeah.
age can my child
Any age.
watch these?
Yeah,
Yeah,
any age.
this
It's really
is
good.
it's a
If
really
they can
good
understand
series. Yeah.
words, they'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, your kids.
And
like
when I
9 or
say
10.
any age, I mean like Legos 1 to 99.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good for
it's
you will enjoy watching it as
And
an
which
adult.
which one is it called?
Avatar:
Netflix,
The Last
Avatar.
Airbender. It's the
Avatar: The
cartoon,
Last
not the
Airbender.
live action one on Netflix.
Okay. I'll totally do that because the shit she watches on the days we give her to watch actual TV is crap.
Oh, you're gonna really enjoy this.
Yes, you're gonna have
And
a good time.
she loves
very-
reading about everything fantasy, dragons. She's
No, she'll love this
super
one.
into all
Yep,
this
Yep.
crap.
She
absolutely.
will. This will be a core
Wizards.
memory for
Now
her.
she's reading
This
Harry
is
Potter.
very
Yeah, if she's like,
Sorry.
liking
decent
Harry
because
Potter,
it's
she's gonna
about
like
basically
this.
a party of friends. It's
Here we
I
go.
very
feel like
D&D.
y'all
Jason.
all
It's
went
about basically a
silent
party
when I
of
said
friends
Harry Potter.
in
Look
this.
for- Animation that looks like that, and that's the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in this world where basically
seen that.
some people have elemental powers. So there are
Yes.
airbenders,
Yeah.
there are earthbenders, there are firebenders, and there are waterbenders.
You can absolutely watch it with your kid. It'll be something you'll both share. Trust me, you'll have
Yeah.
a good.
Yeah.
All right, we will.
And
do
you will
that.
like it. I can't stress
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
As an
She's
adult
getting
man, you will
tired. She's
thoroughly enjoy this show.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's too old now to watch fishing on Saturday mornings with me anymore
Mhm.
because that used to be all she got to watch, but now
Mhm.
she's got her own TV, and Saturday mornings she can watch 3 hours of TV, and she watches crap. It's like
Okay, can we pause? You're talking
Have
about
you-
she's watching crap. You're watching fishing on a Saturday.
Have you shown her? This is an important question. Have you shown her The Lion King yet?
I mean, she know. Oh, she's seen all the movies. We have movie nights as a
Okay.
family. She's seen.
Okay. If
every
you've seen The
movie.
Lion, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
She
Be
hasn't seen the
prepared to
new
talk
one
about
yet?
death around episode 3.
Oh yeah, no, she's seen The Lion King. No, she's almost she's 9. She's
Mhm.
half my size now. She's like a preteen. All the sassy is there.
Mhm.
All of the fun is gone. But I still try. I try my best.
Go ahead, Staffer.